Hey there, everybody. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another edition of Monday Night Must See TV with the Hudson Valley Squares. We've got special guest filling in for Nick Franco tonight, Mr. Rich Catino, all the way from New Jersey. What's happening, Rich? How are you?
What's up? What's up, everybody? Happy Easter Monday.
That's right. Easter Monday with the Easter Bunnies. Here we are. So we got in the house, of course, Ryan Scal, Lynn Versace, Sydney Taylor in the center square, Rich Catino. I already said Rich Catino. Chris Allo, Butch Jones, Steve Keeler, and you know who I am. So tonight is bring out your swag night or bring out your merch night. So we've had a bunch of people asking for us to kind of show off some of the cool swag that we have, that some stuff that means something to us. It could be a special shirt that we bought or that we got from a band, or we had it made for us, a cool jacket, a poster, a tour program, a book, a signed album, a print, whatever, an action figure, whatever, music related that means something to us. So I asked everybody's going to go 3 times and going to show off some stuff. So we're going to let our special guest go first, then we're going to let the ladies go. So Rich, you want to kick us off with your first little thing or batch of stuff, whatever you want.
All right, I'm going my pile of signed shit.
Okay, there you go.
So we got the Heaven and Hell box set that they put out with the CDs.
Nice.
Wow.
So when Black Sabbath came to Vintage Vinyl in New Jersey, they all signed it for me. That was very cool.
All 4 of them?
Yeah.
Looks like it, right?
What's that?
All 4 of them?
Yeah, all 4 of them. Yep.
Very nice, Rich.
So that.
It's got Chris Allo approval over there, right?
Yeah, no, that's great right there, Rich.
Thanks, man.
That's it. That's all we need to see. That's it.
Right.
Let's give it a shot.
Thank you. Good night.
Lick It Up signed by Vinnie Vincent before he started going off the grid.
What year did you get that signed?
One of the KISS conventions.
Okay.
I don't remember which one, but when they used to have those. So one of the few that he was at. Defenders signed by the guys.
Nice.
My favorite
Nice.
Priest album.
Really?
I think so. Yeah. Pretty sure. I keep changing every once in a while, but Defenders is always up there. So I think somebody's gonna maybe want this. I might have to hide it from her. Signed by Jolyn Turner.
Nice.
Now, if you had Blackmore's signature on there, then
Yeah, that's
Right?
that's what I was thinking.
But it was cool for him to sign it for me.
Yeah.
That was cool. Live Evil.
Nice.
This was Ronnie and Vinny signed it for me.
That's awesome.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
you
my
better,
sign
better
file's
lock
pretty
your
good.
door tonight, because there might be a certain guy from the Hudson Valley trying to sneak into your house tonight to run off with those right?
If only I was skinnier, I wouldn't make so much noise.
Anybody did you guys go to the Sabotage convention when they had it years ago? There was one of them
No.
in New
Did
Jersey.
you just say a sabotage convention?
Yes, they did one years ago. I don't remember what year it was.
And how was that?
It was great. I got the whole band to sign this. Even Paul O'Neill signed
So
Wow.
was that before or after Chris Oliva?
after Chris Oliva. So this was somewhere between 2005 and 2000. I don't know, 12
Yeah.
maybe, somewhere around there.
And where was that, Rich?
I wish I could remember. I got to see if I can find like a ticket stub or something. I don't remember, but it was in New Jersey somewhere.
Down by you? Like,
Yeah,
wow, I never even heard of that.
That just
Yeah.
sounds so
I know. So random, right?
odd and random.
It
But
does sound
they did
good.
it. Then there was people there. I think there was a band that played, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
Yeah,
Godfrey there? Godfrey
Right.
would be there, right? Oh, I'm sure.
yeah, he was there. Everybody signed it. It was Paul, Plate, Petrelli, Oliva, Caffrey. Everybody signed it. Yeah,
I never heard of this convention either, which is.
I think the only person that wasn't there was Zach. I think Zach was the only one that wasn't there. I think
From back.
Johnny was there. Johnny Lee Middleton was there. It was cool.
Petrelli, the
Yeah.
Aquarian and everything, you know?
Yeah.
Weird.
All right.
Well kept secret.
Nuns
that
have no
convention.
fun. Merciful fate.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
But King Diamond wrote on it. Nuns do have fun. So that was cool.
Oh.
The only one that could say that. Anybody else can get fucked.
Yeah.
What? And last one in the sign pile, Great White on Your Knees, signed by the guys.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Steve said it
famous.
perfectly. Uh-oh.
So yeah, my sign pile.
That's some cool stuff.
Cool.
Thanks.
Very good.
All right, our center square with her colorful Dockin shirt on today.
Yes, yes. I have to give Jerry Neithamer. I totally butchering your last name, so be sure to let me know how you pronounce it in the comments because I'm totally butchering that. But wonderful viewer Jerry sent me this Dockin shirt, which is a replica of the Under Lock and Key tour shirt. It has the dates on the back and everything. And
I had that shirt.
yeah, it's I'm really happy because it has a Middletown date on the back, and I don't have the I don't have an Under Lock and Key shirt before this, so I was really happy and thankful that he sent it. So thank you so much. I promised him I'd wear it on a show, so I thought what better show to wear it on than this one, because
Good call.
showing off the swag. So I guess I'll start with shirts, because since we're on the topic of shirts, that I have some that are just really important to me, that were not I did not purchase, my parents purchased, but now they are mine, and now they're very important to me because I started wearing them when I started to get into rock and everything, and there's something that I'll keep for forever, and there's very important to me. So the first one is, I know Butch is going to say the design is really ugly, but it's the Van Halen from the 1982 tour.
Dive her down.
It was
I
the
mean,
rag.
that is a relic. I mean, it totally.
Yeah, from 1982 tour, and my dad had cut off the sleeves. It was the raglan, and he did the whole thing. And I mean, this shirt's got stains on stains on stains. But I wear it loud and proud. And it's really funny because whenever I wear it, I say it was my dad's shirt, and he's like, "Your dad fit into this." It was like, like it's time, like made for a baby. I don't know how he did it, but
Might be
this
able to get
was-
around my arm, I think, right?
And that-
Yeah,
We were all really skinny
That's a
in the
plain
80s.
back?
yeah, it's got
Yeah.
the Van Halen on the
Okay,
back.
yeah.
Okay,
it-
nice.
it's Sydney, it's
That's
funny
cool.
because Van Halen had the worst merch
Yeah, you
ever
said that, and I
in
knew
their
you were gonna
heyday.
say.
And trust me, I went to that show November 13th, 1982 in Nassau Coliseum. I went to that show trying to give them all the money I had and the money I could borrow from my friend. I wanted shirt, I wanted everything. And I got there and I saw that, I'm like, I'll just buy the program instead because it's the same thing on front, but at least I get pictures of Edward inside.
Well, the funny thing about this shirt was my dad didn't even see this tour. His cousin saw this tour and brought him back the shirt. I forget the reason. God, I have to ask him. I forgot the reason why he couldn't go. It was either like his cousin didn't give him tickets or something, or didn't have enough tickets, or he was like just not old enough to go. And so he brought him back this t-shirt. And my dad eventually saw Van Halen, many times, but he brought him back this t-shirt, and it was like, this is original from the tour.
Sure
And
is.
man, this is something that it's really thin. It's been washed a million times, but it's something that I'll keep just forever. It's very
Awesome.
important to me.
That should be like the cover of a shirt on its own. I didn't go to the tour, but my cousin went and he brought me this shirt. That's
Oh, sure.
right.
Right.
That's funny.
Right. The next two are shirts that I have worn on here before, but are just very special to me. One being this Whitesnake tour shirt from 1987. And it has all the dates on the back and everything. And I mean, this is in perfect condition. And I mean, I love Whitesnake. I love David Coverdale. So to have David Coverdale on the shirt like this, all big, it's like the coolest thing ever. So that's one that's also really special to me. And it was my mom's, and we go through this constant battle of who has it, and it's going to be mine. So it's now in my room. So that's number two. But yeah, man, I love that shirt. I mean, it doesn't get any more classic than that.
I remember having that T-shirt in my store for sale with that print of Coverdale. Probably had different dates on the back, but yeah.
Yeah,
remember
I don't know what they must have played the Speedway on this.
Oh, yeah,
tour,
they did.
right?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
definitely did.
Oh, yeah, I
I
was
think
there.
in 89, I want to say summer of 89 with Whitesnake and Great White. But yeah,
Yeah.
Whitesnake used
It was later than that.
that same front for like the whole 3-year tour,
Yeah,
87, 88. They just kept changing the backs.
yeah, which she
Yeah.
must have, because I mean, she lived in Newburgh at the time.
Yeah, that was
so
a-
she did
That
all-
was
she
a
went
big.
all the
That was
shows.
a big show at the fairgrounds, man.
And I want to say August 89. I could be
Yeah.
wrong, but
Yeah.
that's my guess.
Your
Um,
memory's better than mine.
Yeah, but I love that shirt. It's I wore that when I saw them for the first time, and it's funny because whenever I wear like the older shirts and people will make, when you go to shows and people make comments about it, and I'm like, it's real, it's not fake. The last one I have is one I also talked about here, but I just love it so much. Again, it's the Last in Line tour shirt from the show at the Civic Center that my dad saw, and again, another one of those shirts of like, he was so itty bitty, it's made for a baby. But I love this. It has all the dates on the back, of course.
Nice.
Nice
and
design.
That's
yeah, it's
cool.
about as God, like right here, it has to be on here, right? Yeah, Poughkeepsie, if it can get all up on there, if you can see it.
Yep.
But yeah, this one's also really special to me. Again, I never had the chance to see Dio live, so it's having kind of, yeah, it's crushing. So having relics like this and being able to kind of almost have like a piece of history from something I wish I could have experienced so much is really important to me. And again, I'll keep these. I have a couple other shirts. I have like a Stevie Nicks original shirt from the Rock a Little tour, and I have some other stuff that I haven't, don't have with me right now. But those are like the three most important to me. So
Cool.
And you guys remember, because I was at that show, but I don't remember who opened up that show. Was that Twisted Sister that night?
84, I believe. No,
it was. I just had a conversation with my dad about this.
Yeah,
Oh, wait a minute. Was RIP and Twisted Sister? I think RIP local
It
band.
was a later date.
R.I.P. Wow.
I think RIP was a later date.
Well, I don't know. The
Because
latest.
we were talking about if Dawkins had opened up, because Dawkins did open up for him on that tour, but it switched between Twisted Sister and Dawkins didn't show up until like later on in the summer or whatever. Because I last wore that shirt and we talked about it. I looked it up after, and some website has all the tour dates, so I'm pretty sure it was Twisted Sister.
Yeah, I got it on my I have the stub. I gotta look.
I know that RIP did open, a local band RIP from Poughkeepsie, New York. Open. I don't know if it was later. If it was the later show, that would have been stupid. Jesus Christ. The Wolves record. What's the name of the
Lock Up the Wolves?
Lock Up the Wolves. Thank you.
Yeah.
With Rowan Robertson, and I didn't go because I was protesting because Viv was gone, so I didn't go.
I know Ingve opened on that tour.
Okay.
There could have been a local first, but I know it was definitely Ingve.
I want to say 84, so I think it might have actually been Dio, Twisted Sister, and RIP,
Yes.
but either way.
Yeah, because he played there like a year and a half apart, and I remember one was Twisted Sister, one was RIP. I just don't remember which one was which.
And the first one was Y&T.
Yeah,
Which was tremendous.
Yeah, that was really good.
Leonard Hayes.
Well, thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Lynn,
R.I.P.
what do you got?
Whatever happened to R.I.P. Wow.
I don't know.
Their name was self-fulfilling.
I still talk to Jim on Facebook. He's doing all right. He's a dad.
Yeah, I talk to Jim all the time.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, he's all right. So I don't know what to show. I really don't. I have
Show prep.
what? What'd you
Nothing.
say?
I love Lynn.
What the hell did you just say to me?
I said
Mother
nothing.
effer. All right, listen. I don't have a table or any of that crap near me. So I'm gonna show I saw Billy Cobham a couple years ago and met him. So I think he's
cool.
a freaking phenomenal goddamn drummer. I love
Really
him.
good.
Even though I'll show my drumsticks later, but I love him and I got this. So that means a lot to me because he's awesome.
That guy, he's in his like 70s. He can outperform
Yeah.
every drummer.
Yeah,
on the
for
planet.
sure. For sure. And then I have the Ross the Boss signed record.
Nice.
Cool.
And then I have here this nice old Peter Chris signed record.
Oh,
That's cool.
Too bad that album blows.
Yeah, exactly. I've never heard it. I just
Yeah.
assumed that it
And
wasn't
then
good.
Yeah, take my word for it, Butch.
You don't need to
and then
hear
I
it.
have I don't know if you could see this. King Diamond from the show that I was at Keeler where I saw you.
Yeah.
Oh, in Brooklyn.
Nice. Is that a poster? Well,
It is a poster, yeah. It's a
very
big-
cool.
And
That's
I had
cool.
it, I mounted it and all that crap with
Nice.
the ticket stub and all that,
Awesome.
you know.
So
Like a
Lynn,
big-
you did the meet and greet that night, Lynn?
I'm a dork, you know.
Well, I should have done it, and then I found out I had a backstage pass where I could have met him, and I left him at home because I wasn't familiar with the area. I was like, I'm getting the hell out of here.
And then I
But,
got the when they played at the Chance Zebra.
Nice.
I got that little tidbit, and then I think, see, when I worked, hold on. I got over here. I got the winger, and because my boyfriend Rod Morgan seen another amazing
Great band.
design.
I was gonna say Rich has wood right now.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
They're, they're a great
So
band. They
do
get a
I.
lot
If
of
I
shit.
could, I would. And then Sydney's gonna love this, but let's see. That's when I worked several Alice Cooper shows, but
Turn the
Nice.
pass around,
This is-
dumbass.
this is that one. What?
Turn the pass around.
Oh, there you go. Sorry, hold on, Ashbet. Wait, I got the thing. I gotta go over here because I have no other table.
I haven't heard an Ashbet in a while.
Ashbet, see? And then I
Ashbet.
got Carmine
Nice.
Carmine who?
and Vinny. And then I have Carmine and Vinny.
Oh,
They
was
did
that that
that
show they
drum
did
work?
together?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did that drum
Ah,
wars.
drum-
And
I
then,
was I was so bummed to miss that show because I was away that.
and then I
whenever they
got the
did that.
drum head. They
I
gave me
was-
the drum head at the end of the night.
Wow, that's nice.
Drum
Chris,
wars.
I
So
was
that's,
away too, Chris.
Oh, no,
I
that's
well,
did.
tell
pretty badass.
tell Frank to bring him back if the world ever goes back to normal.
I'm sure that
And
sure
then-
that they're waiting to come back. They're not doing anything.
Right.
And
Hey,
then
Lynn,
my
do you
last
remember who
sign
played guitar
thing-
on who played guitar with them that night?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Don't ask me. I'm not Butch. I got a bad memory.
I remember seeing the set list afterwards, and then I was bummed before I saw the set list, and then I saw the set list, and then I was really bummed.
And honest to God, I was bartending anyway, so it was, so I was making money and whatever. But and then I got this when Janet Gardner played the Chance. It's my Vixen. Actually, this is the one that I got in LA on Sunset Strip when they had that rock and roll auction, and I won it because I had to bid on it because it's Vixen crying. Get it? Tissue box crying.
That's
then I-
awesome.
And then I made Janet Gardner sign it because I'm a big idiot. She's like, "Where the F did you get that?"
I love
And I was
that.
like, oh, like 30 years ago on Sunset Strip, because I'm an asshole. She's like, this is our EMI. Like that was their promo before the band was even anybody. She goes, I don't even have one. I'm like, yeah, well, you ain't getting this either.
Nice.
But I thought it was pretty cool. So that's just like some of my signed stuff because I can't, like I said, I'm unpacking and all that shit. So I can't really find anything else.
But I have a note to make on that Vinny Appice and Carmine Apiece, because we do pronounce their last names different for some reason, as we know. But
A piece,
pronounce it
apathy,
different.
whatever.
Yeah.
they played the Castle Fun Center at one time. Did you know that?
No.
They did.
Wait a minute. The castle in Wappingers?
No, the
No,
Castle
this is in
on
Middletown.
Ocean, or
Oh,
that's
down in Chester, rather.
I used
Yeah,
to.
this was out that way.
When the fuck was that? Steve, when was that?
It was very unannounced. It was very not well promoted. And Brian at the Backyard Barbecue was very upset because he thought he was getting it because he did have a relationship with Carmine for playing there with
Nice. Look at Lingo.
Look at me.
And,
Look
they
at me
played
with the
there.
thing.
Do that again. Do that again. There you go.
Woo!
But they played there, and I don't think there was many people there. They were trying to do rock shows.
I used to live next door to that place, Steve. I had no fucking idea.
I know.
Where did they put a stage though in that place?
Yeah.
Like in the roller skating rink or the
Yeah,
whatever?
It was in that. Remember how they built that new building, and there was a room where they put a little stage in, and that's where they were going to start doing like rock shows. And I think they did that show, and that was it.
That's mind-boggling.
Wow, that's
That's
wild.
crazy. What the fuck? Oh.
So that was all I got for round one.
Okay.
Very
Cool.
nice.
Well, Steve, what do you got?
All right, I'm going to turn the camera around because I don't have these things on my lap, of course, and now everything's stuck. I got microphones and whatever. I'm turning to the other side of the room. Can we see any? All right, I got some Blacklight posters I'm going to show off. I'll breeze through them pretty quick. Can you see these? All right, guys.
Ooh.
Very cool.
Yeah, this is a newer poster. It came out a couple of years ago. It is a bootleg, of course. It's on Kiss Meets the Phantom from the Park.
Nice.
Do you have those for sale? I didn't see that in your store.
I love that movie.
So
Yeah,
these
me
are
too.
more
It's a
like-
hoot.
They're very limited. They're kind of like collector's item. I'm going to show this one tonight just because of Godzilla King Kong. This one came out a couple years ago. It's also quite rare now. Some of these posters get quite collectible, kind of like the stuff that Rich was showing earlier. So please don't come to my house and try to break in tonight, anybody. This one is for Scow completely. This is a takeoff on Blue Oyster Cult. I'm burning for you.
That's cool.
So pick that up. I got another one to show Scal before I forget. A movie that Scal really likes. This I
love
just
that
nice.
This is available. This is still available at incendium.com, and it was about $60. And
Unfortunately, Chris likes that movie too. That's like one of the best movies ever, Steve.
they're $150 on eBay. These are right now.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Ryan, I've never seen it.
Wow.
Really?
What?
You should watch it, Butch.
Love
Yeah, you
that
like
movie.
It's iconic.
And this is a Dirty Donnie art. This is still available on his website. It's from the
cool.
Murder in the Front Row documentary. So it was done up for that with the thrash metal, Exodus, Metallica, and all that stuff. What else have I got? I got one that Sydney might like, and she would probably want. It's an old Alice Cooper print, and I believe this is from 74 or 75.
Wow.
Yeah, 75, I think, because he's wearing the nightmare outfit.
And then this is politically incorrect, so please don't hate me for it. I've got a Leonard Skinner.
I'm appalled.
It might get,
Yeah,
it
that's-
might get-
You moved that off camera. It was like gone. Oh,
Am I the only one that was like expecting a Nazi thing or something? I mean, like,
Yeah.
that's not that bad at all.
Who am I on this show with?
Pete's favorite band of all time, Guns N'
Oh,
Roses.
nice.
Hold that one a little longer.
Let's see, I'm moving things around. I'll do a couple more, then I'll let somebody else go, and I got more to show later. I got the Dio.
Oh,
Ooh,
nice.
I like that
Oh,
one.
yeah.
I
that's a
want,
good
I
one.
want that. How much you want for it?
I got one
No,
of those
I
somewhere.
get it.
This is not for sale, and
Damn.
good luck finding it. This one I got on eBay several months ago. It's got some tears. It's been cut around, but if you find this in perfect condition, I'd say you're spending $350 to $400.
Wow. Holy
Damn.
shit.
Wow. What about
I-
that?
I have that one
what
and the
about
Born
Those
Again one.
posters are worth nothing, and if anyone has any Blacklight posters at home, they like to send them to me. I will gladly accept them. I know
Nice.
we got
I got 3, but I'm not going to sell them.
I got a Rush poster, which is not too
Ooh.
old.
Nice.
That's not too old. I'd say probably 15, 20 years ago. Another classic Guns N' Roses poster from back in the day. This one's pretty pricey too when you find them on eBay. And I'll do one or two more. This one is a Black Sabbath classic. I know
Yep.
Rich, he has this one.
I got that one.
I got that one too.
Old, actually, this really came out in 2004, if you can believe it.
Wow. Well, I mean, originally that came out for the Born Again record.
It was issued in the 80s, and then they decided to reissue it. Winterland did through Scorpio, and they also made the Ozzy Speak of the Devil one, which is up on the ceiling here, which is the one I had that in the store about 15, 20 years ago, the Speak of the Devil poster. And I couldn't give them away at $10, and now forget about it. They're
Wow.
worth a ton of money. Monsters Den stuff. I know for you got Monsters Den. This is another limited print with the Universal Monsters.
Nice.
That's cool. Like that.
Yeah.
I figured I'd show off, and this is a bootleg of the Ghost Rider.
Oh. Nice.
Nice.
Where's the Grim Reaper?
It's still on
Where's
eBay.
Grim Reaper? See you in hell.
Grim Reaper Seeing Hell is behind me, actually. We're on the couch, so you'll see it when I turn back around. And I'll let somebody else go, and I got a few more to show next turn around.
Boy, for a guy who was so worried about how he was going to be able to show this stuff, you did a good job, Steve.
Good job, Steve Keeler.
The only reason I questioned it, Pete, because I remember you and me doing an episode a few months ago in the same room, and I was trying to show a couple posters, and you were like, you can't see them. It's just blurry.
Got the hang of it. Do that.
I wasn't sure how it was going to come out with the black light and everything else, but I guess it worked out.
I don't know. All right. How about the guy who's wearing the most outlandish shirt on the set here today?
Very Easter like it is.
Yes, I'm talking to you, Mr. Scow.
You just loved. Oh, I guess it's bottom shirt. Well, people are complaining that we curse a lot on the show, and it was Easter, so I had dug up my
Fuck 'em.
Jesus
You're
loves
gonna
you.
wear an offensive shirt.
I
to make
need that.
Fuck
Oh
yourself.
my God. Where did you get that?
I'll you know what? I don't remember. I have to. I have so many. I literally have a room upstairs in the house.
Wow.
Of just offensive shirts like that.
Every shirt. More. Well, yeah, a lot of offensive ones, but just shirts in general. So
You mean, and it's not even a Cradle of Filth shirt.
no, it's just a cool little shirt I saw. I'm like, I'll spend $20 on that. Had it for a couple of years now.
Yeah, that's freaking awesome.
Yeah, so this was for me. This was a little interesting because like I've seen 8 billion concerts. I feel like, but I've never been a guy to like really meet bands or get shit signed. I've had like a lot of opportunities to meet bands. I'm like, I'm just gonna go have a beer. Like as long as I see the concert, have a good time, and I'm with friends. That's all I really care about. So I do have a lot of shit though. So I want to start with the first round. I got these two. I got to go to, I think, into my clothing here. I got some cool bomber jackets. Only 30 of these were made. I just ordered a Motorhead one, but the same guy made the Slayer one.
Nice.
Cool.
The other sleeve here, you got the Slayer logo, and on the back.
Oh, the Slatanic Wehrmacht. Awesome.
That is a killer jacket, and I'm going to sell mine on eBay because mine
you
is
said you got the
one
same one,
size
Chris,
fits
right?
some.
One shot.
I got. I mean, I'm a pretty big guy, but I got XL, and that fits. It's not loose on me, you know.
Yeah,
That's not even the cool one. The cool one's this bad boy. Same guy.
yeah, that's a nice one.
Got a Merciful Fate one.
Nice.
That's nice.
Very cool.
Don't break the oath, finger pointing at you. In the back.
Yeah.
Little shit.
Oh, shit.
So
Nice.
I love wearing these. So that's for my first round here. I got all kinds of other stuff too. I'll throw these in too. This is a birthday gift a couple of years ago. A friend of mine, actually Steve knows her, a friend of Alyssa. For her birthday, she made me these.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's
these
a fire.
spiked armbands with the wolves for the band Destroyer 666 as a birthday present. She's like, I gotta practice my leather work. So
Do you
I'll make
wear
these.
them?
Not the concerts because these are really, really sharp.
Yeah.
Really
I
sharp.
imagine
So,
that would hurt.
and they're kind of like awkward to move around in. So not for concerts or nothing. But yeah, she made them for a gift.
It's definitely something more like you'd see a guitarist or something wearing on stage. Like
Yeah, if you were on
that-
stage, you
that
could wear them no
guitar,
problem.
like
But if
that.
you're bumping into people, they're like fucking spikes sticking out like of your arms.
Remember
Well,
the
they
old
did. Back
days?
in the day, they wore them.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
I got-
back in the old days, we all wore spikes, and then all of a sudden,
Yeah.
there was a sign at the door.
Yeah.
Put your spikes
Yeah.
back in the car or throw them out when you walk in.
Yep.
I mean, I got some stuff coming up in the later
Right in
round.
somebody's face.
Yeah, the concern is more the spike on your arm. I don't want like, oh, what's up? Boom, you bump into somebody, you know. I don't want to do that. But
It could be deadly in the mosh pit.
yeah, and I'm I thought of that too. I don't want to bump into somebody, like poke somebody in the fucking eye, you know.
Yeah, that would not be good.
Yeah, that would suck. So yeah, I don't wear them to concerts. I don't want them to get fucked up either, like all covered in sweat and beer and shit. So,
Yeah.
I'll save everything else for the next round.
All right.
Woohoo.
Got bourbon. What do you got, Mr. Bourbon Man?
Well,
That's something to do with Wayne Gretzky.
it has to be music related. The Gretzky one would be a whole 3-hour show by itself.
There you go.
But Mr. Scal, I'll start with this for you. So I've been collecting picks, and this is my first guitar pick I ever got. This is the one that I really, really, really wanted this pick when I was a kid. I think I got this when I was either 11 or 12. Oh, here we go. This.
Oh, the glare is
Oh my
not
God.
especially with a white pick. It's
Here we go.
Who is it? I
Buck
can't
Dar-
see.
Buck Dharma.
Oh,
very
cool.
Nice.
See, you can't see that? I'm sorry.
No, now I can see it.
nice.
Here,
Oh,
well,
no.
yeah, then
Oh,
that's
that's
good.
good.
Mark.
This was the very first guitar pick I ever got. And
Nice.
I remember the place where Ozzy and Def Leppard played in 81.
You'll see.
I almost had it.
Music Mountain. Music Mountain.
Music Mountain. That's it.
Music
Thank you.
Mountain,
Music
yeah.
Mountain. I didn't see that show, unfortunately, but I saw Blue Oyster Cult there. And I remember being outside and he threw the pick and I watched it go up in the air and I followed it and it landed and I went beeline to it and I found it. I'm like, oh, Buck Dharma. Oh
Nice.
my God. So that
And
means
that must have been a pretty good throw because if you remember, that concert venue had a moat in front of the stage with
A
a
moat?
fence, and you were actually back a long ways from Music Mountain. It was a weird setup.
I was
Steve, did you
nowhere
see a
near the
moat?
boat.
I
I don't
Were there alligators?
Yeah, I was gonna say, are there piranhas in there, alligators?
I don't remember a moat. I
There was
wasn't
like
that close.
street- There was like a stage, a stream, and a fence, and then you.
Mm.
Wow. Well, that pick had wings, so that made
Yeah.
it all to Butch wherever he was.
Yeah, yeah.
He got it out there into the field. I found it. That pick is the number one. Well, no, that's the first pick I got. That means a world to me because I've got probably a few hundred picks at this point now. But this pick means a lot to me too.
Oh, nice.
Can't
That's
see it.
Yeah, yeah.
Vivian Campbell,
Nice.
Oh.
Dio, 1983 Holy Diver Tour. I was front row, and he threw that pick out, and there was no way I wasn't getting to that pick. I actually, it's still a little hole in it. I made an earring out of it because, you know, that's what you did in 1983. You had to have a guitar pick earring.
Yeah.
So
I remember you wearing that.
thanks, Viv. The name that everyone is waiting to hear tonight, and you're going to hear it a few times. If you can see, I'm still getting used to this freaking thing. You can't read me. It's John Sykes. This is the pick that John Sykes in 1989, after I'd waited so many years to see him, that he placed it into my hand. So this was not one that I found. This is not one that I caught. This is one that he pushed people's hands away to put it into my hand. And so that is the pick that means the absolute most to me.
That was a Blue Murder show, right?
Yeah, 1989 was the first time I ever saw him. So yeah, that, goddamn, does that mean a lot to me. So I'm gonna roll through a couple of albums that for people that have become friends over the years. As a lot of you guys know, I covet this record. Ozzy Speak of the Devil, Brad Gillis signed it. I still think that I know Chris is gonna say stuff to me, so I'm not gonna go down that road, but the guitar tone, this is my favorite guitar tone of all time, Brad Gillis on this record.
What's wrong with that?
Monstrous. I'm leaving it at that so Chris doesn't blow a gasket. 1984, I became friends with these guys, Armored Saint, on the first tour, and I was 84. I think I was 17. This one's going to be hard to see. Everybody signed this record back then.
You can see it. Yeah, you can see it.
All sorts of writing on that one.
Oh yeah.
One of my favorite album covers too. It's very cool.
Right. Is that not fantastic?
So cool.
That was 1984. Those guys are still brothers to me to this day, which is fantastic. Great guys. Going the complete opposite direction of music. I don't care what anyone says. Janie Lane.
Love Warren.
Listen, I'm going to even stop before I even go there. Janie Lane was one of the greatest songwriters of his time.
100%.
I don't care what anyone says.
Butch, I got 3 words for you. I love the first 2 albums, but Dog Eat Dog.
Phenomenal.
So good.
Love it. Love it.
Phenomenal. Absolutely.
Love it.
Janie got no credit. He's one of the greatest singers of our era. He was one of the greatest songwriters of our era. You know what? One of the things that made me and Janie become good buddies was that he loved Phil Lynott. And Janie wrote like Phil. He told stories. And you can slag him for all you want with the cherry pie. I mean, unfortunately, that's one of the reasons he's not here. He hated the song that he wrote that made him famous. And that sucks. But moving on.
Me too.
Again, I'm trying to get this right. If you can see any of those signatures and the smudge on the bottom by Joey, because I smudged it. But everybody signed that record. And that was 88, right? Or 89?
Yeah. That's one of the albums I wish I had on vinyl in my collection. I don't have the first album.
Yeah, this was great friends.
Warren is great, and I don't really give a shit who says anything else about them anyway, because I mean it's the songwriting. I completely agree. It's just,
well, if you listen to them, not that the singles are bad. If you listen to other songs on the albums other than the singles, you'll see that they're more than just the singles.
Yeah, I mean Janie wrote every song of those first 3 records. The 3 records that anyone cares about, he wrote every fucking single song. Yes, I'm swearing. I swear for I don't know, whatever.
Punctuation.
Thank you. That's the word I'm looking for.
Period.
For effect. That's what I was looking. I swear
dramatic
for
effect. Yes.
I swear for effect. Janie's probably the most underrated songwriter of the 80s because he had hits, but they got slagged at the same time for no apparent reason. Just whatever. Just brilliant. I love the guy to death. He was a really great friend and I miss him dearly. And so love you, Janie. Now this one. This I have a story. So this is Thin Lizzy's Life Live, the last album the last real album that Thin Lizzy put out. Okay. It's signed by John Sykes. I met Sykes in 1989. I've told this story a bazillion times, but to get to the point quick, I had gone on the bus when I got that pick in 89 from the Blue Murder tour. And I was hoping I was going to meet him. I had someone that was kind of helping me get to that point. So in my car, I had everything that Sykes had played on up to that point in 1989. And I went on the bus and he was going through stuff, and I did not bring the Whitesnake album in. I wish I had at this point now. I wish I had slided in and the 87 record in, but it was 89. The last thing I wanted to do was to get him tweaked about Whitesnake. So I left it in the car. 30 years later, I wish I had him sign it and whatever. But at the time, he told me that he had never signed this album for anybody. Phil's on the cover. It was too close. It was the last thing that he was on with Lizzy. But he literally said to me, he's like, I understand that Phil meant a lot to you, so I'm going to sign this album for you. And that, to me, was tremendous. So anyone out there that, the milk carton and all the other stuff about Sykes, the guy, besides being a guitar god to me, he was the absolute greatest to me. And for him to sign this, it meant a lot. And he wrote to Butch, God rest his soul, I love him, John Sykes. So
Wow.
that was huge.
Cool.
So there you go.
Very cool.
Very nice.
Chris Allo.
Okay. Make it quick. I did a couple pieces of clothing. I know I've talked about Slayer many times on the show before, one of my favorite bands. I was able to see them 58 times. And the first time I saw them was on the Rain and Blood tour. And I happened to get a shirt that is to this day quite collectible. I actually found this shirt. I mean, this is my shirt that I got at the show, but I looked it up yesterday and there's a version of this shirt on eBay. A guy is trying to get $666 for it, which is a lot of money. But I guess mine must be worth more because mine's in better shape. And also his, maybe it's like a second run because mine has the dates on it, or the cities rather, but his does not. But yeah, this is the somewhat controversial Slayer Altar of Sacrifice. How do I do this? Like this?
Yeah, bring it
Yeah.
back towards you a little bit.
Yeah, we can
There you go.
Yeah.
If you can't see it, it's a priest that's been impaled by two
Oh, wow.
guitars with a church window.
Two BC
It's,
witches.
It's very collectible. And in the back, I always like the back because it's got the "Do you want to die?" scrolled in blood.
Oh yeah, I
with
remember the
the,
back. I don't remember the front as much as I remember the back of that.
Yeah, they did the back pretty much on all the Rain and Blood
On all their
tour.
prints.
But yeah, this one, the guy that's selling on eBay doesn't have the cities. And yeah,
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I think it's a cool shirt. I'm
is.
glad I still have it because I don't have all my metal shirts from the 80s.
Yeah.
So
Jesus.
I'm glad I still got this one.
I've got a reprinted app, but it doesn't have the tour dates on the back. It's just the
Oh, no
design.
kidding.
Yeah, and it was probably made in the 2000s, like it's way later.
Gotcha.
Just a
But yeah,
black.
it's a good.
that
it's a good
design
shirt.
is so fucking cool. Like that.
My-
altar
my-
sacrifice.
My buddy Dez that paints jackets, and that's the next thing I'm going to grab. He actually had me take a ton of photographs because some guy is doing a commission for him. He's going to paint that, and here's his. I'm not going to say that, well, because if I said it, everybody would be like, "How do you spell it?" So I'll put it in the link too. But he painted a jacket for me that I showed on one of Pete's Black Sabbath things we did. And, I have no qualms in saying, yeah, this is the best battle jacket in the world. I couldn't tell you how many times I've posed for pictures with this jacket. I've had dudes buy me beers with this jacket. I had a guy come up to me and shoot a YouTube video with me and was like, yeah, guys, I'm here. I'm with the jacket and it's real. I had one guy send me an email and he's like, hey, did you see this? And I'm like, no. And on eBay, there was a guy in Mexico that got a clear photo of my jacket. Must have been something I posted on Facebook, or maybe Dez posted it on Facebook. And this dude in Mexico was making a giant patch and selling knockoffs on my jacket. I mean, it's crazy.
That's the
but,
highest level of honor, Chris. That's the
Yeah.
highest level of honor.
I mean, listen, people, people have talked my ear off. I mean, I think if I was more of a swinger, I could have gone home with some of these people. So it's crazy. Although maybe they would just take me home and
Steal your
take
jacket.
my jacket.
And take your shit.
And then I'd wake up in the bathtub also missing a kidney. But the front is your typical patches and buttons and shit, no big deal. But the back is painted by my buddy Dez, and it's of course all Sabbath related. I told Dez I wanted something.
Oh shit!
It's kind of dark, but I told
I always
him
like that
wanted
Born Again
something-
armor.
A million of these jackets, and that's the coolest one I've ever seen. And I've seen
Wow, I love how you have the angels in there too. Smoking,
it's
freaking awesome.
Mob Rules and Heaven and Hell and Live Evil and Born Again and Headless Cross. And I wanted something to represent all of the Sabbath era. And
Wow.
yeah, it's all I've never seen to
And that's hand painted? That's hand
no,
painted?
it's all hand painted.
Oh,
Holy
That's
wow.
awesome.
crap.
I've never seen anything quite like it. I mean, he does other ones that are really, really good, but and anytime he posts, I'm like, yeah, dude, that's like second best.
So,
that's the best one I've ever seen.
What does he charge for something like that, Chris?
I don't know, to be honest, because
Yeah, okay.
he charged me a couple sandwiches and a couple good times at my house.
There you go. Hey,
But,
good price.
he has a Facebook page, which this is it. So, and he does commissions, everything. I mean, he does.
Yeah.
He's doing a Star Wars one now. He did an amazing Merciful Fate and a crazy Celtic Frost, and he's amazing.
So he'll do commissions like on your own like custom
Oh,
request.
100%. Whatever you want, he'll paint it. And I think part of the reason why his stuff comes out so good is because he loves painting on denim.
Chris, how many years have you had that?
Shit.
It's
I've
ink
seen
isn't
that.
cracked. The paint's not cracked at all, which is fucking
Well,
great.
I'm also very careful with it. I only wear it to certain shows. Not to sound weird, but you can't wear it when it's too hot.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweating, too many beers getting poured on you. Yeah.
Totally. Like I remember I wore it to that the Maryland Death Fest that Venom played. And I wore it for the first couple days, but then it got real hot that weekend. So I was like, you don't want to take it off and crack it or nothing. But what year is this? This is 2021.
Yeah, we're in 2021 now.
You can never really tell with all the stuff we talk about. So
Yeah. So I gotta have it at least eight years.
Yeah,
I've
Venom
seen
played that that was about 7-8 years ago when Venom
Yeah.
played.
So maybe a year or two before, and it does take Des a little bit of time because he does the outline and then he paints it in black and white and then he paints over it in colors. It's just like layer and layer of colors. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I've never seen one that cool, and I've seen
that jacket at many shows that Chris has been at.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, now's the perfect time of year because it's not too hot, it's not too cold.
There's no fucking
But yeah,
I
he
don't know if
does.
I ever told you, and I don't know if Des did it or
Where
not.
they go to
but
shop, right, or something,
I was in fact, Ryan, I think you were at the same show. I was at a Uriah Heep show, and I think it was.
Uriah Heep and Priest in Albany.
And remember, we saw that there was a guy who
I was
had
there.
almost an identical type of shirt or jacket, I should say, with all the Uriah Heep covers on it. It looked like it could have been done by him. I don't know if
Wow.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Remember that? Yeah. Oh, I took pictures with that guy. He
Yeah.
had the I think it was the Look at Yourself. No, the Salisbury art, like with the tank, huge, like really well painted on the back. And this guy had to be like around 72. He was a little older, but yeah. I'll
Nice.
find the picture.
We'll have to ask Des
My phone here.
if he did that one. And this is another one I got. This one again, both of these mean the world to me because they're not something I bought. These were gifts, and it's sort of music related. My buddy Sean, who's a huge help with me with Hudson Horror, running the movie film festival, wanted to do a battle vest for me, but instead of bands, it's all horror movies. And he specifically did all the horror movies that we ran at the show. And it's like a music related battle vest, but it's all movies.
That's
Okay.
fucking
And,
cool.
that's.
I know a lot of these because they're obscure, like Invasion of the Bee Girls or Day of the Animals. There was no patches, so Sean had to get them custom made. And then he bought the jacket and then had his mom sew everything, which is just nuts. And he just gave it to me. So I was like, wow, that's crazy. So it's not quite music, but I wore it when I met Slayer on their last shows, and Gary Holt loved it. He's like, holy shit. He's like, every dude, he comes out here with a battle vest, and they're just trying to be cool with all, obscure bands. He's like, but you got all obscure movies. He's like, that's fucking cool.
We could see that.
Chris, did I see a welcome to hell patch on that Sabbath jacket?
Chris, Pete, that's the Salisbury jacket.
That's
Pete
the one.
guy?
Yeah.
That was in Peekskill, New York, when we saw that. You could there's Pete right there. He's right
I
there.
thought I saw that.
Yeah.
How much you want for it? Look.
For the patch?
No.
Oh, nice. Look at that. Yeah. I love Venom stuff. But yeah, so that's my clothing bit.
Cool. We got some good stuff here today. All right, for this round, I just got one, then I'll show some other stuff later. So everybody who knows me knows I'm a big prog rock fan, and Gentle Giant is one of my favorite 70s bands, right? Well, they ceased to exist in 1980, and we've never had a reunion or anything like that. But about like maybe, I think I'm going to say 15 years ago at least, Derek Shulman, who was the singer of Gentle Giant and who was, a big record executive guy. He signed like Bon Jovi and Pantera and Dream Theater and all sorts of big bands.
What's his name?
Derek Shulman.
Okay.
And so he started up a label called DRT Entertainment in the early 2000s and released a bunch of things by hard rock and metal bands. But in addition, remastered the entire Gentle Giant catalog. And they specifically asked Sea of Tranquility to review all the remasters, and then invited me to the DRT offices to interview Derek. And then after I did all that, I received this in the mail, which was a really cool poster commemorating Gentle Giant's 35th anniversary of all the remasters, and every surviving member of the band signed it.
That's cool as shit.
Very cool.
It's kind of got a lot of glare, but so this is the Gentle Giant mascot, I guess you can call him. So we got Kerry Minier, Gary Green, John Weathers, the Shulman brothers, everybody's there. So I proudly have owned that for quite a while. So I'll let Rich go.
Cool. All right. I'm gonna go to some more vinyl, but just really cool covers. Or actually, these are alternate covers I'm going with now. So there's two different versions. So you got The Hell with the Devil, because they changed it.
Yep.
See, Butch, more Striper, right?
Michael's texting me right
don't
now.
talk about Striper enough on this show.
Michael's texting me right now.
The photograph image of Great White for the first album. There's also the black cover.
Yep.
The name.
Which
So
is
I
the
got
best
this one there. I
album
got
that they ever did.
What's that?
Which is the first album is the best album they ever did.
Absolutely. And I love One Spittin' as well. But this one's still my favorite. Yep.
Let me see the back. I've never seen that cover.
Yeah.
So was that before the black one?
Good question. It's got EMI. It's EMI. So was the black cover one also EMI?
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah, it was EMI.
so there's two different covers then.
Wow,
Yeah.
I've never seen it. Mark Kendall.
Yep.
Ironically, they used the same picture of Lauren Black on the Black album. Wow, that's
So
awesome.
this one's cool. And it's got an insert too. Yep.
Wow, yeah, and they used the same picture there. They only had one picture of Lauren Black. Look at your insert. Turn it around, and look at the back of the album. It's the same picture.
Same picture, yeah.
He only had one.
Well, he was on Shot in the Dark and One Spittin', and then he was gone.
Right. Gary Holland, great drummer.
All right. Made in Japan with Diano's head getting cut off.
Nice.
Wow.
That's fucking cool.
Yeah.
That is
I would
cool.
this. They should have just kept with this one. I like this one.
That is cool. Is that what year was that? Is that original? That's not like from back in 81.
This is from a Venezuela print.
Holy shit! I've never
That's
seen that
cool.
before.
Yeah.
I've never seen that either.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those rare things.
That's fucking.
Oh, yeah.
That is badass.
It's badass, yeah.
I can imagine what that one's worth.
Oh,
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I would not sell this one. I mean, all these things I wouldn't sell.
Wow.
This, I always love this cover. I wish they would have stuck with this. I like this one. The reissue one
Mm.
Yeah.
for Lonesome Crow.
I had
Way
that
better
too.
than the original.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the
This is
original.
very cool. Because you got the crow on the back. Makes sense now. You know, you got the Lonesome Crow on the back.
Yeah.
The Lonesome Crow, literally, yeah.
Yeah.
Such a
I
lovely-
always
You
love this
can't beat
artwork.
Rodney Matthews, man. He's such a great artist.
And this is really cool. It's actually textured. It feels, you know, it's in the desert, so it's got that texture to it. It's very cool. What else? Point of Entry.
I love
You're-
that cover.
this-
Nice.
Yeah, this is great. I always like this
A
cover.
better cover. Yeah.
Much better.
Absolutely.
Yep. And the first album too.
Mm.
Barbarella.
I got that
That's
cover.
actually, yeah, but that's
That
the second cover, which actually is a cooler cover than the
Right.
bottle cap.
Cool.
Yep. So yeah, that's my second round of alternate album covers.
But the bottle
Nice.
cap kind of went with the album because it was Coca-Cola.
Rock and roller. Yep.
Right. That's true.
sweet.
Yeah. Yep.
That's what happens when you get a cease and desist.
Yeah.
That is true. Sydney, our center square.
Awesome. So I'm gonna grab one more thing real quick because I was like, I'm not gonna show this, and then I decided, you know what, I am.
Yeah.
So I'll say this one a little bit. So the first one I'm gonna go with, I'm gonna go show a little bit of vinyl that means a lot to me. That's kind of on the rare side, or some of it's also just signed. So for those, I don't think I've ever mentioned it here. My favorite movie of all time that I watched when I was a young child is Labyrinth with David Bowie.
Never seen it.
It was my introduction to David Bowie when I was very young, and to be honest, it sounds really silly, but I owe my love for music to this movie. I fell in love with David Bowie after just listening to the soundtrack, and then when I was like 6 years old, I got like David Bowie's like compilation albums, and I got really huge into David Bowie. And then that kind of led me into my love for Alice and a lot of other bands, and here I am now. So I owe it all to this movie. But the
It's a
funny
great
thing,
movie.
I love this freaking movie. It's one of those things. It's a kids movie. It's meant for children, but
Who just said they didn't see it? I didn't catch it. Who said
Butch.
this? Butch, you got to see that movie. Come on.
I've
I've
never
been
seen
told that. I have been
I've
told that
never
by
seen it
several
either.
people.
Bowie
it's one of those
fucking
things
phenomenal.
where it's just it's Jim Henson, so it's puppets and everything, and it's
My
but
kids hated it.
But the funny thing was that, so I mean, I watched that movie. It was kind of, my mom was one night trying to look at something that my dad was away for a business trip, and my mom was trying to look for something that me and my brother would both like. And she kind of came across that, and it's just struck something in me that she had no idea that it would. And so that's a story of that. But when I started collecting vinyl, I had a list of stuff that I really wanted and stuff that, if I could ever find this, it would just be a huge deal for me. And this vinyl was one of them. And I went to a record store in New York City, I believe back in 2015. And I had a list of, vinyl. And so it was one of those things where I looked for a little bit, and, a lot of stores keep obviously records of the records that they have. And so I went up to the guy and I was like, listen, do you have any of these? It was like 5 big ones that I was looking for. And he was like looking in his computer or whatever. And he goes, I have the Labyrinth soundtrack, but I don't really think that you might want that. And I was like, tell me where it is. And he was like, it's somewhere in the new arrival section. And so I went and I found it. And the funny thing about it, which I believe in a lot of this, kind of fate, destiny stuff, the top of the record says, cross your fingers. Somebody wrote, cross your fingers on the top of the record. And it's in perfect, when I tell you it's in perfect condition, and this was so special to me because this goes on eBay for so expensive, like $200+ for this. And this is pretty much as perfect as it gets. And they came out with the reissue and everything, but to me, I'm a big lover of original vinyl. That's primarily what I buy. when this soundtrack came out, this was how you listen to it, other than, you know, eventually cassette too. But you know, it's got the whole like movie thing, it's the whole soundtrack. And so this one really meant a lot to me, you know, finding that. So I had to add this, you know, to my little show and tell tonight.
Nice.
The second record I have, which I've talked about it on the show before, is my copy of School's Out, which I'm so sorry, Steve, you sold this to me for so much cheaper than you probably could have, because this is the first pressing.
That's rock
And
fantasy for you.
It's got
That's funny.
We get them
It's
cheap
got-
and we sell them cheap.
it's got the panties on it, which originally they ended up getting rid of after the first pressing because they were flammable. So that's how you know it's a first pressing, and also the catalog numbers. I've done a lot of research.
So how much should I have sold it to you for? Sydney?
Way more than you did. I think I got it for like $10 or something. You,
Oh,
you
yeah, I'm
really.
sure.
But yeah, it's got the panties on it. And this was also really special, not only because it's a first pressing now that I'm really into vinyl, but this was the first vinyl that I ever bought. And I later on got it signed by Alice. So that was really special
And he
because
signed 75. That's awesome.
It's now worth even more.
it's worth even more now. And you know, that was just, it started a whole love of vinyl for me. This was like, I went to Rock Fantasy and I got this album and I got Welcome to My Nightmare. And that was like, I went home and I was like, I'm ordering a record player, and it just kind of happened. So that was really special to me. And then yeah, to have Alice sign it, and the panties, I mean, they're like, you look at them and they're about to turn into dust. So I try not to like.
And like I said, it's cool that he signed 75.
Yeah, it's
But I have a question for you.
yeah,
Have you ever played it?
yeah, I have.
Have you? Okay.
Yeah. I have played it. I don't play it very often because I don't really like to take the panties
Panties
off and
off.
on.
I was gonna say, you gotta be careful with those panties there.
That's why I asked. That's why I
Ba-dum-bum.
asked. I have albums that I bought for the cover and I've never played.
Yeah, I've played it occasionally, but like I said, they're so brittle that I don't really like taking them on and off. So it's one of those that I play very rarely.
Very cool.
I have a lot of 45s of this album, so that's typically what I go to.
wow.
Another one is the one that I said I wasn't going to show, but I was like, fuck it, I'm showing it. This album is signed by Alice, and it's my favorite album of all time. I've talked about this. This album is what just, I don't know. I loved Alice when I was younger, and I came back to him when I was kind of early teenager getting into this stuff. And this was an album that I listened to this, and it just changed my whole life. It changed my whole life. And it's, I sat, got him, God, I brought these to him. I met him in 2015, and he signed this and a bunch of my other records. And it was so funny because, you know, Alice, he's a little jokester. So he looks at me and he goes, you know, these are called vinyl records. And I was like, yes, I bought them. Yeah, he was like, he told me, he's like, I got shoes older than you. But you know,
Truth.
it's got the really cool, it's got the cool, I love this vinyl because it's got the cool, you know, gatefold, and the little door opens up and it's Alice, usually
Oh
in
shit.
the room. And I have the sleeve in here backwards, but
That's a trifold. That's not even a gatefold.
yeah, so I'll put it in the right direction so you can actually see. Come on. All right, yeah, so you open up the little door and it's Alice in the quiet room. And then you open the back and it's them escaping out of the asylum. And it's like, it's freaking awesome. And to have him sign this for me was just such an incredible moment, because it was like, this is, you know, metal from the inside. This is what the from the inside is. It's, you know, it's changed my
That's
whole life.
awesome.
Yeah,
So
that's cool.
that's a big one. And the last little thing that I have that I think is cool is another little Alice related item. This is a flexi disc.
Yep.
And this was actually from the 1973 issue of Musical Express. And I found this, and it's a compilation of the entire Billion Dollar Babies album and like of the songs. And on the back is just a song that kind of is forgotten called Slick Black Limousine. And that's on the B side of this. It's just so cool. I've seen pictures of this promo online before, and I was in my local record store and they had it for super cheap, and I just thought it was the coolest thing because I saw so many pictures of it. So that's another cool little little rare thing that I have.
That's
but-
That
funny.
is cool.
So that's where Quiet Riot got Slick Black Cadillac from. Slick Back Limousine. I never knew that.
Yeah, no,
They
it's
pulled
one of
that.
those songs that I think might have been. I think that song might have been just for this because I don't think it wasn't on any record that they did. So I think it might have been literally just for this like little promo or something. But yeah, it's got like a compilation little medley, I should say, of No More Mr. Nice Guy, Unfinished Sweet, just a whole $1 Billion Babies record on the one side, and it's pretty cool. It's a cool little thing to listen to every once in a while. So
That's cool. And,
Yeah.
you know, I'm sure you guys also bought NME. You know, that was a cool British paper. I definitely remember buying a bunch of copies when I was young, for sure.
And well, just one last thing while we're on the topic of Alice Cooper, because after this, might mention him one more time on my last round. But back in 2016, I won't get into detail of how it happened, but I got my senior pictures taken in high school in Alice Cooper's dressing room. And I got a pair of his gloves that he wore on stage, and he signed
Awesome.
them
Awesome.
Alice Cooper. And I want to get these. I want to get these
Framed.
framed in a shadow box one day with.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
totally.
You should.
I have a cane behind me, which is this one that I caught. So I want to get like a shadow box or something with either this or
You have to.
You have to.
I have
Well,
the riding crop thing too that he threw to me during Poison. That's up
Oh,
on
yeah,
the
that too. Then, yeah.
headboard. Yeah. But these are really special to me because that was such a special day. I was like pinching myself the entire day. And got to like touch his makeup and like put it was like the craziest day of my life.
Awesome.
It was insane. So these are really, I keep them in a little plastic baggie. I put them away. I only look at them every once in a while because it's like it's a really special thing. So that was something I thought was pretty cool. So that's gonna be the end of my round. Enough of me talking, but
Cool stuff there.
Yep.
Then back to you.
Definitely cool stuff. So I just wanted to show my little, wait, where is it? Oh my God. I can't, you guys were talking about Michael Sweet. So I wanted to break out my little Michael Sweet all access pass. I went to a few shows. I thought that was pretty cool. Not that long, not that long ago either. And then I have my little Judas Priest. I went to a few shows. A friend of mine was on this tour. So I got my cool back in 2018, went to a few shows. And then, of
Remember
course-
2018?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the
I
last
remember
of
all
the
of
fun
them.
stuff.
Concerts.
Yeah.
And then my I guess when I met Jeff Tate at the radio station. And then I know nobody really likes Bon Jovi, but I do. But so I have that.
Rich
I
does.
Jovi's
love
great.
Bon Jovi. What do you mean?
Boner
First
time.
four albums are awesome.
I don't know. Either way. And then I want to show a couple of drumsticks because you know how I love drummers. And then I have
Do ya?
drumsticks. Yes, yes, as a matter of fact.
Roger Earl.
See the twirl again?
Yes.
Can we see
Yes,
the twirl
Frog
again?
Hat.
Roger Earl. I love Fog Hat.
Got that.
Len, let's see the twirl again.
Yeah, let's do
Oh wait,
it.
we're twirling? All right,
Yes.
we're twirling. I can only twirl once in a while. I can't.
No.
I gotta get my groove. It's been a
very
while.
nice.
Listen, I used to be able to double twirl. I don't know what happened. I got old.
You got old.
You got the olds.
Did get old.
Oh.
I did get the olds. And then the Alex Bent from Trivium I have,
Eh.
which was cool. Whatever. And then I have Simon Phillips.
I like that one.
Oh yeah. Simon's a cool guy.
He signed that. Nice guy.
That's
Complete
smart.
legend.
I got a lot of
Complete legend.
drumsticks without names on them. I have no idea what fucking band I caught them from.
Yeah, well, and then Vinnie Paul from Pantera.
Absolutely.
And
Nice.
he played up at the Loft, actually. And then my boyfriend, Rod Morgenstein, formerly the Dixie
Nice.
Dregs winger. You know, I love Rod
Winger.
Morgenstein. Fucking awesome guy, really awesome guy. And then I don't know, fucking have no idea. I really don't remember because there's no name on it.
Why are you showing it?
Because
remember that
it's
one.
fucking red. That's why, and I like red. I like the little grip. I like the grip.
Yeah, you just don't know who it is.
No, I don't. I know who this is though.
Boo.
Ooh,
Nice.
there you go.
Wow.
Nico.
Oh, nice.
The Nico McBrain, Iron
Nice.
Maiden.
Very
The
nice.
last time I just saw him in probably was 2018, 2019 actually.
How'd you catch that one?
Because I was up front because I'm a dork.
But
Mhm.
Scout, you didn't catch one? You let Len catch
Answer.
it?
I got
And
I got
then-
Butterfingers, Steve. Butterfingers.
Guy Gelso from Zebra. And then this I thought was a pretty cool one night. So I was working Sticks and Todd Schurman. Is that how you pronounce his last name? Schurman?
Schulman, I think, isn't it?
Schulman?
Oh, Zuckerman,
Or-
Zuckerman.
Either way, so I was working at the Mid-Hudson Civic Center in Poughkeepsie, New York. So not only did he give me the drumstick, he let me sit behind his kit, tap a little tap, tap, tappy before I had the house opened. And he gave me this and I took a picture in front of his drum kit, which
Where's
is
the
fucking
picture?
awesome.
Where's the picture?
On my phone, which I'm
I don't-
fucking zooming on.
I don't
dude.
believe you. Let me see.
Okay.
A little
Well,
tap.
I'll show you when you let me fucking
That was
come
a good-
over
that
and
was a
give
good
you what I
show.
have to give you.
Todd
Aside
is.
from that, the
Wait a minute.
same
Wait a minute. Wait a
tour-
minute. Let me just say something. Todd is one. If you guys out there don't know, Todd is the drummer of Styx. Todd is one of the nastiest drummers on the
Oh, he
planet.
is fucking ridiculous.
He's really
He's
good.
ridiculous.
Oh my God.
But the same,
Nice guy.
what do you call it? The same tour, downstairs, backstage, whatever, being a runner, Tommy Shaw took a selfie with my fucking camera that I'm on right now. And he
There's a
gave me I have pictures. They're on my fucking Facebook, motherfucker. Still, and then I got his little drumstickies. I got his little pick,
He got little drumstickies.
not stickies. I got these little
Tommy Straw
things.
drumstickies.
I got these little paste. No,
Ah.
they're not pasties. They're not. Or maybe they are, but certainly not for me.
I said nothing.
Yeah, well, and then the last two things I want to show before I go to my guitar collection, my guitar pick collection. Billy Joel's 80th birthday party at
Billy Joel is 80?
No, come on.
yes.
No, he's not.
Or 70. Was it his 70th birthday? Maybe it was his
Yeah, I think he's
70th.
70.
80.
No way.
Oh no, it was 70. Look, I'm lying. See, look, it says 70 right
I was
there.
gonna say,
That's
man, whoa,
Aloe's
Billy ate quite a bit since last
Tell
time.
me
we
and get
saw
up
him.
there.
I mean, I know he's got the
Yeah.
olds, but I don't think he was that old.
No, this was in
He's
I don't remember where it
71.
was. But either way, they gave out a bunch of really cool stuff. They gave out these Billy Joel 70th birthday party hats, cups. They gave a bunch of these out, which I thought was pretty cool because they're collector's
80th
items.
birthday.
May 9th,
You're the one that
2019.
went up
Shut
to
up
him and
before I
said,
stab
"Happy
you.
80th
Oh.
birthday." So Saturday.
That's what. Wait a minute. He's born in May.
May 9th, 2019.
That's why. Wait. That was the show.
It's only-
Yes, that was the show.
He was born on 29th.
No, but that was he did the show on his birthday.
So
It's
May
his
9th
birthday
is his
show.
birthday. Okay.
Yes, he's a tourist like us, fucker.
Well, stop saying 2019 is his birthday.
Whatever. And then last but not least,
He's
for
only
my
3
tour
years
stuff.
old.
May
You guys
9th,
are fucked up.
1949. He was born.
I'm sorry, Lynn. I'm on your
No,
side.
no, it's all right. It's okay. You're all fucking fired. So another
Wow.
backstage at the Mid-Hudson Civic Center, working for BB King, hanging out, whatever. His brother was his tour manager. End of the night, they gave me a signed lithograph picture. BB King's like, gave me a big hug and kiss. And he took this BB King guitar off his lapel and he gave it to me.
Where's the signed lithograph?
Huh?
Where's the signed lithograph?
Sold up. It's rolled up in my closet, which I didn't frame yet, which this room that I'm in is going to be a rock and roll / whatever room when I get around to it.
I was
because-
at that show. That was like 08, 07.
I don't know. I was his runner, like, I don't know, 5 or 6 times from
What's
the
taking
chance.
what's
and
taking
then-
you so long to get it framed?
Please, let's
Come
have
on.
this
There's a
discussion.
lot going on.
Let's have this.
It's
Oh,
B-
I don't know. I was fucking raising kids as a single mother,
it's
douchebag.
BB King. Come on.
Anyway, I'm fucking definitely going to his house next week for sure. And I'm fucking bringing a goddamn whip and a riding crop.
So yeah, I'm not swearing. She's doing all the swearing for everybody.
Yes, yes, I
I
am.
have a lot of viewers. Definitely have a lot
Yep.
of viewers.
So
And
you're
if
gonna
they
have-
don't like it,
you're gonna
then
have
you
a-
can
wait a
hold
minute.
on to this right here.
So next
Um,
week, we're gonna have a live S&M show between Lynn and Butch on the squares.
Yes.
I'm not-
Yes,
I'm
kind of
not
like
involved.
that Queensryche song,
Butch,
25
Butch, I
bucks.
don't know, you
a
better
fuck.
lock the doors,
It's
bro.
like I'm not going to be part of that.
We're gonna have a lot of viewers. It's gonna be a big hit. I think YouTube won't allow it though.
Oh
Either way, that's just some of my stuff.
I
From,
can
You
see
guys
the
might have
comments
to-
now.
You have to start a Chatterbait channel.
That's got to go on OnlyFans. Sorry, guys.
Tuesday nights will be. our
listen, I
Chatterbait
know
night.
this isn't rock and roll, but I did work for the Super Bowl, and I thought that was pretty cool.
Nice.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. What year was that?
I was like, the last Super Bowl was in New York City. I worked the Super Bowl.
At Giant Stadium.
Yeah, and
When-
actually, I worked all of Manhattan.
Wait a minute. Wait
It
a
was the
minute.
whole week
Wait.
leading up to.
Wait a minute. Who won the Super Bowl that year?
I don't
Yeah.
know.
I
don't
do.
know. You do?
I do.
I was just gonna
Was
say,
it-
wait, they
who
did a
was
Super
it?
Bowl in New York?
Who was it?
And at Giant Stadium?
Was it
Yeah.
your Seahawks?
Yes, it was.
I knew it.
The Super Bowl was over in the first 10 minutes of the game.
Oh, yeah, it was, wasn't it?
It was.
I don't know, but it was really cool to volunteer that whole entire week, meeting all the people and stuff like that. And then all my crew passes, Leonard Skinner, I don't even know when the hell that was. Puddle of Mud, Cyndi Lauper.
All right, next.
Saying, wait a minute, I want to show you. And then my other boyfriend, Sully, signed my other working pass.
Oh, Jesus
Ollie.
Christ.
Yes, I like
I'm
Sully.
not-
The guy that landed the plane in the ocean? That guy rules.
Yes, yes, that old guy.
I've seen God's back.
Comment of the night. Damn it.
He was my boyfriend, that old guy.
Thanks, man. That was Tom Hanks.
You got a lot of boyfriends.
They had that hit. They had that hit for the Army, didn't they, at one time?
Wait till you guys
You
see
want
my
the Army?
last thing of the night. It's my favorite thing ever. You'll see.
I know what it is.
All right.
No,
So
you
we're
don't.
back.
No, you don't.
Wheeler,
You're
Mr.
back
Right
for me.
Fantasy, what do you got
All
for me?
right, it's Blacklight around again. Another one for the Monsters Den. We've got a rare print of the creature.
Oh,
It's
I
like-
love that.
That is cool.
Yeah.
He is a tiki girl, and actually you can see the creature's looking in. So it's like the temple of the creature of the Black Lagoon.
Nice.
One that Super 7 did a few years ago.
Oh,
It's
I
an
love
operating
that.
print.
Yeah.
That's
Shut
awesome.
up.
Was available a few years ago. I don't think it is anymore. Super 7 did a couple Blacklight posters. That was one of them. The other one was a Black Sabbath Sabotage, which they put out a couple years ago. You could buy it for $20. Now it's like $300 because they don't make
Wow.
it. And here's the Led Zeppelin, the Hall, which
Nice.
is an old one. The Who one, which is really not too exciting, but it's old. This is another one that I know Pete likes comics, so I'm going to add comics to this show because he does comics on one of his channels. This is a Third Eye 1971. This is
Yeah. Jack Kirby, man. Awesome.
yeah, and another one that's rare. This one most of us probably had who are my age that are on the show, the Ozzy Blizzard of Oz. This was a common poster back in the day. This one's a little ripped up, but it's still cool to have. An old Captain America from 1975.
Nice.
Yeah,
Jack Kirby art, very cool.
The Iron Maiden, the Trooper.
I have that.
This one is from I don't see a year on it, but anyhow, that's a cool one, of course. And another one that's very hard to find nowadays. It seems like since the pandemic, everybody's been locked up at home that you can't even find Blacklight posters. Most of them aren't even up on eBay right now. This one is not that old, but it's gone up in value. They stopped making it, of course. It's a 2010 dated, and I had them in the store for quite a long time.
I got one of those in my house.
This is a classic. It's Heavy Metal 2. Came out this came out in the early 80s, 1983. Of course, it kind of has a Eddie looking character and some Judas Priest style and Iron Maiden style guitarist on the front. One's
I
wearing
love that.
has a Van Halen necklace, a 2112 necklace, a Union Jack, and he's got a Zeppelin. He's got a Blue Oyster Cult button, a Black Sabbath necklace, and a Judas Priest necklace, and a Led Zeppelin pin.
And a Michael Schenker headstock.
Yes. Good picking up on that. And Megadeth, this one's actually signed by Ed Repka. He does Chiller Theater every year. He had these there, and he was
Nice.
selling like $30.
That's
Another
cool.
one you cannot find anymore. One that Sydney would probably like. Excuse the frame, it's pretty beat up. It's a very old poster. It's ripped up. It's got the glitter on it. It's
Ooh.
an old Alice Cooper. And do I have it dated? Hole in the Wall, North Hollywood, California. You can write to them if you'd like to buy one. They may still have some.
That's awesome.
And I got a Mick Jagger.
Oh, that's cool.
This is a Mick Jagger glitter from One Stop Posters from Atlas International, 312-764-9872. So if you call them up, you might be able to get one.
Nice.
I'm sure the number is still active.
Yep. Oh,
Probably a Chinese grocery now or something. That's a Godzilla type Gorgo that came out back in the day. I got the Death Race, which was an old video game. That's another collectible nowadays. Which is a classic old poster. I know I got some more music related. We got The Crow, Brandon Lee, which is a great music soundtrack, of course, and a great movie from how many years ago now. The Zeppelin Blimp.
That's cool.
I'm almost done. Another one. Hold
I
your
got
eye.
40 more.
This is politically incorrect, but it's a Southern rock coaster.
Oh, gee
Wow.
whiz.
It has
Oh,
Sweet Home
gee
Alabama,
whiz.
Allman Brothers, Charlie Daniels, and then some song titles thrown in.
The hell's wrong with you?
It's a bootleg.
I like it.
Oh, it's a great poster.
I'm offended again.
But
Oh,
you
your
can't,
ass.
but you can't sell them, buy them anymore because it's got the.
He's
rebel
not
flag.
offended. It's full of shit.
Zeppelin, another classic that was tons of these made back in the day. And what do we got left? We got a dinosaur, and I got another one for Pete. This is another comic book related. This is another Third Eye, 1971 Marvel Comics with Conan the Barbarian.
Wow,
Great.
Barry Windsor Smith art. Look at that. Holy cow, that's awesome.
Great detail, and last but not least, the my pile tonight was.
Ooh.
Oh, that's my
Nice.
favorite 70s Kiss album. I want that.
Now this is new. A couple of years ago, you could buy them in
Yeah.
my store. I just reprinted these, and they're going now. You can't get them anymore.
Oh, I want to get one of those.
They're new. You can't get them anymore.
And they're
Crushing
not-
I
disappointment.
love rock
I
and
mean,
roll.
when you look at that poster, you think automatically, oh, that's from the 70s. It wasn't. This one was just something that was made probably like 15 years ago.
But you still can't get it anymore.
Yeah, you just can't get it anymore.
I mean, we had them in the store a couple of years ago, but they're gone now. And of course, I've got this guy, the original heavy metal, which we've kind of stolen and using it for the logo of the Rock Fantasy Files a little bit. And when I come back, I'll show you a couple other things.
Cool. Good stuff, Steve.
Love it.
Ryan, back to you.
I got kind of a little hodgepodge of stuff here. So one
Who
of these.
doesn't like a hodgepodge?
What's up?
I said, who doesn't like a good hodgepodge?
I don't want to be friends with anybody who don't like a good fucking hodgepodge.
Exactly.
One of the cool things about when I want to see a lot of concerts, I'm always up against the stage. So one of the cool things is when the band's done, I grab the set list right off the stage. That's when it's you have to be in the right spot at the right time.
You're the guy.
So yep. So I have a whole book of set lists, which I grabbed off the stage. A lot of them have footprints on them, beer, they're torn to shit. But so I just grabbed two out of the book. One of my favorite bands from Italy. I saw the band Mortuary Drake. They played Saint Vitus. This one's not torn to shit. So I grabbed that. But my favorite one is in 2017 when I saw Voivod in Montreal. They were the final band that played on my friend's fest, Wings of Metal Fest. And I'm like, I'm getting that fucking set list. And I tore it in half. So I had to go back and get the rest of it like a couple minutes.
Oh my
I
God.
love it.
Yeah, so that's from their Montreal set from 2017. A little club that's no longer there called the Catacombs. Chris Allo for a couple of years used to do a Hudson horror show, so I collected all the little things. So I, not music.
Oh, that's awesome.
That is
I might
awesome.
I might not even have one of those.
Yeah, I got all these, Chris. Everyone, I saw probably 90% of the shows, so I got all of them. That I
That's
did attend.
awesome.
I got in my book of shit here. And one of the cool things is here's another one on this page here. But
Nice.
a lot of times when you write bands for something like, hey, you buy a T-shirt or an album right from the band. Bands will send you like little cool notes and stuff, and if they're real nice, I save them. So this band I bought, this is an Italian band. They sent me this little thing. It's got an embossed thing on it, like the my brain ain't working here. Like when you seal
The
an
seal.
envelope, the wax seal.
Seal.
the
I
wax-
love that.
That's
yeah.
very cool.
And this English band, black metal band from England, sent me this nice little handwritten note on like parchment paper.
Dear
Cool.
Scout. Wait, go back. Does that say Dear Scout?
It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing insulting me for being American and just taking the piss. It's funny as shit. I kind of talked. I talked back and forth with the guy a little bit, so he knew me a little bit.
That's
So,
awesome.
yeah, he took the-
That's awesome.
So I grabbed one, when Sydney was talking about Labyrinth, which is a great movie, great soundtrack. I ran off and grabbed the soundtrack to my favorite movie of all time, which is this Stanley Kubrick. Definitely my favorite movie. And I have a cool story, not about this particular version of the album, but I was in high school. We were at a pretty good drunk rager, and my friend had this album on the turntable, and there's a song on here. If anybody's seen the movie, it's only in the movie very, very briefly. Let's see. Oh yeah, I Want to Marry a Lighthouse Keeper. It's a little vignette that's in the movie, and I just thought, I was drunk as shit. Like, I'm just gonna keep playing that song over and over again on the turntable. So I put the needle up, put it back, put the needle up. Probably played it by 50 times. Some guy walks in, he's like, "Nope, not having it." Picked the record up, snapped it in half, turned into a huge fucking row over this because it was my friend. It wasn't my record, it was my friend's. And this guy was drunk. He's like, "What the fuck?" You just snapped the album. Big prom. So I've always had fond memories. But my copy I bought for $1 from some record store in Brooklyn years ago is in pretty good condition and it is not snapped in half. So I like this one a lot. So
I have a question for you because I love that. I love that movie.
Sure.
Did you ever go to the Kurova Milk Bar in New York City?
No. Is it still a thing? It's still open?
No, it's gone. It's gone. But it was built just like the movie.
About it, and I just never was down there. It couldn't make it happen.
Yeah, it was cool. It was a cool place.
Was it kind of just like the movie, like the way
exactly?
It was
yep, you would have loved it. It was exactly like the movie.
Oh,
yep.
Yeah, that is.
And they had the movie playing in a constant loop when you were there.
Did they have the soundtrack on a constant loop?
Well, not the soundtrack, but the actual film.
Okay.
So the film was in a loop.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. I remember hearing about it, but I never ended up making it happen.
Yeah.
Every time I was down in the city, but yeah, definitely my favorite movie of all time, and I've listened to that soundtrack billions of times. It's so good. So
yep.
That's all I got for round two. Keep it brief.
All right, very cool.
Nice.
Butch, back to you.
To me, all right. So if you're about to do this, when it's your turn, save it for the third one. I'm going to do tour programs. So this program right here, this band Angel, with the greatest logo in rock and roll history. You can fight me all you want, you will lose because you turn it upside down and it still says not the big A, but the Angel part. It still says Angel. That's the greatest logo in rock and roll history. And my mother wrote on this program, March 16th, Jesus Christ, I can't even read. What the hell am I doing? March 16th.
God punishes you.
Or bourbon. March 16th, 1978. So I was 11 years old when I got this. March 16th, 1978. Angel, the original 6 Angel albums are immaculate. Well, at least the 5. Sinful is okay, but the other ones are phenomenal. So the Angel program, God damn, that means a lot. So going back to Sydney, just to show that I showed this before, November 13th, 1982, waiting a long time since 1979 to finally see my man Edward. This show, I remember being in high school, Southbourne High School, and I could not wait. That day meant nothing. All I wanted to do is go to school, get out of school, and have my friends' parents drive us to Nassau Coliseum so I could see Edward, and he did not disappoint. The opening band was terrible, but Edward did not disappoint. And the merchandise was awful, but I had to buy the program, and Edward's stuff is long gone. It was on my walls, and I ripped it out, so it's long gone, so you can't see that.
I have a question.
No,
Yes.
It's not question time.
It is. Gun to your head, John Sykes or Edward?
Edward is the beginning of everything. I come from the Edward Van Halen school of
Just
guitar.
answer the question. I don't need a dissertation.
Edward.
All right.
But Edward is 78 to 82. So Sykes
Whatever.
comes in at 83 for
You
me.
only get one question, one answer.
So this right here is for, I figured a lot of
A bit of
people,
avoidance right there, huh?
well,
Yeah, exactly.
kind of. This stuff I think that you guys would like to see because this is a trio of Ozzy.
Oh wow.
So it is the original Blizzard of Oz
Nice.
program.
Nice.
And yes, Randy is long gone from here. I ripped him out and put him on my walls, but
Oof.
I kept the bulk of it. So there's the original Blizzard of Oz tour. Okay.
Minus some pages.
Yeah, mine's a whole lot of pages of Randy.
Fuck.
Okay, so that's part one. Part two
Man.
is the Diary of a Madman tour with Randy, also missing some pages.
Oof.
Oh wait, there's one. There's Randy. I did keep one.
Yay.
So I did keep Randy in that one. But I have to admit that this one I think is to me is the most, I don't know if important, but the special one. This is the in between. This is Ozzy in '83. So this is Ozzy. This is actually really fucking cool. Pete Way in the program, and he played with Ozzy at the end of the tour of '82 with Gillis. I actually have a bootleg of the last show that Ozzy did in '82 with Gillis and Pete Way, which is really cool. But this is oh, look at this. Look, I actually kept Randy in here in this one.
That was
Yay.
good.
So
Yay.
Randy's in this in '82, but this is the thing that's really, really, really cool. Is there's my man Brad Gillis in this.
That page is tore out.
Oh, it's all messed up. This is
Missing every page.
oh, this is 15-year-old Butch. So there's Brad Gillis in
Butch.
there.
Oh, Butch.
Come on now.
The pages, Butch, all the pages that you tore out, did you save all of them still? You got them all?
I think I do. I think I have them out in my shed in some plastic totes.
They're probably sticky.
But here's
You know,
I was waiting for that comment. Like, I was gonna say it.
now this is what's cool about this. I got this in '83 when Ozzy played at the Mid-Hudson Civic Center in Poughkeepsie, New York, with Jakey Lee as in Ozzy's band before they did Bark at the Moon. So Tommy Aldridge was in the band, and I have a drumstick that I caught from Tommy Aldridge, which is awesome. But this is really cool. So here's Don Costa, the bass player that was with Ozzy on that leg of the tour. That his claim to fame was that he had a cheese grater on the back of his bass, and it would cut him so he would bleed like a Blackie Lawless kind of thing. And Don Costa is no longer with us. Yeah, no, very seriously, very seriously.
He
Don
wanted
Costa.
to bleed. He wanted to bleed.
Because it was a show thing. He had a cheese grater in the back of his bass, and as he played and moved around and everything, it would kind of cut him, and he would bleed, and the whole thing with Ozzy. And there is a picture with Jake. Well, here's the picture with Jake right there. But I had a picture. There's a section with Jake in this because this was the insert to this program that already existed, and I had Jake sign. I met Jake outside at the end of that show, and I do have that, but it is back outside of my shed in the tote with that Jake signed it, but which is actually cool too. But I didn't actually realize, I forgot about this until I was looking at this before we came on air. So 1983, Mid-Hudson Civic Center, Ozzy Osbourne with Jakey Lee. The opening band, Sydney's gonna love this. The opening band was Vandenberg. And so that was Vandenberg's first tour. I love that first record. Second record, not so much, but I love the first record. And outside waiting for Jakey Lee to come, because I was that kid. I was 82, so I was 15. So I wanted to meet my guitar hero. Well, Jake wasn't even a guitar hero yet. I hadn't even heard him yet. He was just in the band. But I knew Vandenberg, and I waited outside, and I got Adrian Vandenberg to sign the Ozzy program, and the singer of Vandenberg, Dick, whatever his last name was, but you can link.
Yeah.
I'm sure Lynn can see that it says Dick.
Oh.
Actually, that's the first thing I saw because it was near your head.
Well, okay, fine. Be that way.
So I got a point to make on that program. The cover of that program, Butch, can you believe that Ozzy Osbourne, about 2 years ago, I've got the shirts in the store. They actually took that design of him with that ghoul or whatever, and that is a T-shirt one of the shirts I have in the shop.
Yeah, speak of the devil. So the idea was the Speak of the Devil thing, and that was his henchman, and his name was Ronnie.
that was the midget, right? That he had the balls to name Ronnie.
His name Ronnie, exactly.
Oh,
That's
some
some,
heat there.
that's
some
some
heat.
fuck shit. Even for Ozzy, that's some fucked up shit.
And that's probably why Dio wanted years later said, "I'm not doing that gig," and that's why Halford had to fill in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Would you do the gig if you were Ronnie? I wouldn't. I'd be like, see you
Hell
later.
no.
It's probably Sharon's idea.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yep. So that's it for me.
All right, Chris, back to you.
Okay. All right. Mine's real quick. Just one thing. It's a book. I know most of the guys on the panel here, ladies, whatever, know Frank White, who I'm real
Frank
good friends
White.
with. Frank helped a couple years after college. I used to do college radio, but Frank helped me get in the music business. And Frank and I went to Europe, I think in a 10-year span. Frank and I did 12 European tours. I think we logged like more than 100,000 miles together. And, Frank was the man that helped me get in the music business. I always loved seeing my name in print and seeing, shit like this, like for interviews and stuff.
Oh, wow.
So Frank was huge. But I remember saying like, oh, Frank, I always wanted to see my name in a book. And he's like, yeah, that'd be really cool, because magazines only last around for a little bit and, books are forever. So, like 3 years ago, Frank was like, yeah, I'm going to do a book on Ronnie James Dio. And I was like, that's awesome. He's going to have pictures of all, because Frank started to shoot him in Rainbow, and Frank shot him every year through all the years until literally Dio's last ever show with Sabbath in Atlantic City. So it's a really cool book. Anyway, Frank had said he was going to mention me in the book. And I was like, no, dude, you don't have to do that. He's like, no, I want to. We did so much on the road and blah, blah, blah. And I thought it was really cool of him because I always want to see my name in a book. But I figured, some editor is totally going to fucking cut it out. But nope, I am on page 105 of Frank's book, Ronnie James Dio, A Life in Vision. This is the European version, which comes in a case with like extra photos. But it is available, like the cheaper version is available on Amazon, and it's called Ronnie James Dio, A Career Through the Lens. Frank hates that title. That was the record company that did, the publishing company that did that, but it's a really fucking cool book because it's got tons of pictures of Ronnie, and Frank talks about seeing all these great shows. And yeah, it's special to me because I'm mentioned on page 105. So that's my
Badass. I love Frank.
What does it say on page 105?
That he and I, me and Frank went to Europe to see Dio at the Bang Your Head Festival in Germany, and we saw him with Twisted Sister and all these other bands, and whatever else.
That's cool.
Frank and I did a lot of, when I started doing the guesstimate on the miles, it's like, holy shit. Yeah. I'm like, that's a lot of travel.
Chris, you mentioned all the miles. I'm just thinking all the German beers.
Oh,
That adds up.
Of course you are.
yeah, which some of which were hot. I remember at that particular festival, the Bang Your Head Festival, Frank and I made it to the festival, and in Europe, they don't have the refrigeration like we do over here.
You drink the beer warm. You like it.
We get to the campsite and we're setting up our tents and we're like sweating bullets. And our next door neighbor, he was already there in his tent. He's like, oh, you guys look like you could use a beer. And me and Frank are like, yeah. And they hands us 2 bottles of beer that were fucking on fire. They were so hot. And Frank just looks at me and I'm like, shut up, be nice. Don't be a nasty American. Just fucking drink it.
Drink it.
So we did, but yeah, to them, it was no big deal. Hot, warm, whatever. Yeah. Oh, it was gross.
Not give a fuck.
Yeah.
Thanks.
That's brutal.
But
I've been there.
Beer is
Yeah,
not
you
served
know.
cold. Beer is not served cold in a lot of areas over there.
Yeah.
Generally
Just
not
the re-
hot. It's not like a fucking can of soup or
The
something.
refrigeration is just, I don't know what it is. It's like they're a third world continent.
It's like ice. Ice isn't
Yeah.
used over there for sure. I
No
know
doubt.
Italy isn't.
Yeah.
You want ice in your water? What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the only, when Frank and I haven't been there in like 10 years, but the only spot that was really cold with good air conditioned was the movie theater.
That's crazy.
Like, which used to be like around here like 50 years ago.
Meanwhile, I'm serving beer to people and it's like in the refrigerator for like 2 hours. Like, this isn't cold enough.
You're very spoiled here.
Spoiled.
Oh, yeah.
It's what?
Entitled Americans.
Fucking, it's
different-
cold. You know, it's crazy.
Different culture.
All right. I mentioned we're going to do some tour programs here, right? So I'll keep this quick, but
Ooh.
maybe
Ooh.
the Eyes tour.
I don't even remember seeing that. I was at that show at the
Wait,
Civic
wait, what
Center.
tour was that?
Right between the eyes. I bought this at Madison Square
Oh.
Garden.
Oh,
I saw that at the Civic Center in Poughkeepsie, New York. I don't even remember seeing a program. I bought a shirt.
oh.
And,
I don't
and here's a question for everybody, because I'm like trying to rack my brain. Does anybody even do tour program like other than Iron Maiden? Does
Now,
anybody
no.
even do tour programs anymore?
No.
I don't see him very often.
I can't remember the last time I saw one.
And there's the licking dog.
Oh, nice.
That's freaking awesome.
I think Kiss still had one.
Can I touch
Okay.
that? Can I just touch that?
Bobby Rondinelli.
Nice.
Nice.
Time for Scow's bath.
Hold on, we missed him. All right, Sydney, here we go.
Everybody was waiting.
Love you, Jolyn Turner.
Ooh. All right, he's
Jesus,
hot.
what is he, 12 years old in that picture?
Hot, though. Definitely hot.
He was in middle school yet, I don't think.
All right, what else we got here?
Yeah, I have that one.
Oh, nice.
I had that. It's here somewhere in this house. I bet.
Oh, I should have brought my Hemispheres program.
Put
Look
the
what I
dog
found
down,
in
Ryan.
this tour program. This is kind of sad, but
Been waiting.
Oh,
wow.
Jesus.
Oh man.
What the hell was that doing in that program?
I don't know. That's I stuff things in places.
What up, bump?
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, what else?
Who
I
doesn't?
gotta have one of these, right?
Nice.
Oh,
Strangers
yeah.
tour.
Cool.
Meadowlands Arena for me.
Indeedy.
Time to burn, whatever it was.
Yeah, the Brendan Byrne Arena.
Continental Airlines.
I did not see them.
Nice.
Nice.
I have a couple maidens.
Now, is that a tour book or is that the insert from Live After Death on vinyl?
Couldn't tell you, dude.
Because I believe I could be wrong, but that looks like the insert from
Yeah.
It could be.
Yeah,
from the gate.
That looks
I
like
have
an
one.
insert. That's an insert.
Yeah.
Could be. I just found it in my
But
stack.
that's still super cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got one of those.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Chris, you got that?
That
Oh sure, yeah. They
Oh,
did
Fools, the
they
Mob
did 3
Rules.
different tour books for the Mob Rules.
Nice.
That was the last one. That's the best one.
I would have
Oh,
loved to have seen them then. I
That's
wasn't into them
sweet.
yet, really. I had
Oh,
that one.
nice.
Ooh.
That was ripped up.
Damn, Butch.
I have show the picture of Viv. I have that signed. Yep. I have that signed downstairs in my garage. Yep.
Ah, that's so freaking
That's
awesome.
killer.
Nice.
Yep. Lots of memories.
Back to Rich.
Awesome.
All right,
Bravo, Pete.
back to the vinyl. Just going with cool albums and cool covers. So, little metal up your ass, everybody.
Woo-hoo.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Who doesn't like some metal up your ass?
Right.
Still on the back of their t-shirts to this day. That there's a couple of them. Yep.
Remember when that came out?
Pantera, 80s glam terror.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
That's a great record, though. It really is.
It's an awesome
That's
album.
it's so underrated. The
It
80s
is.
version of Pantera.
Yep.
It's so freaking good. Like Metal Magic, all those. Oh,
I mean, I
Power
get it.
Metal.
It's different.
Yeah, Power Metal's the best one.
That's
Definitely
one thing I could still never
Without a doubt.
understand how that band never went back and reissued any of those records and tried to make money off.
Dude,
that.
no
know,
way.
right?
That could
Yeah.
have been detrimental to their career. I bet you
Absolutely.
anything when they fucking hit big, that was the first thing they did was bought all the rights and buried that
Yep.
shit.
Yep.
I mean,
you can
later
see
on,
really
that
see all the
400
influence
somebody
though. Like all the influence from that they had in those first couple of
But
records.
nowadays they should definitely do it.
Yeah, now they
Now
should.
is a different
Yeah,
story.
Now they
Yeah,
should.
they should.
Yeah.
And they would talk about it. I mean, I know when I interviewed Dimebag and I interviewed Phil, they were totally cool about talking about it. But I remember asking both of them about reissues back then, and they were like, "No way."
Yep.
They swept that shit under the rug, man.
Yeah.
Oh, no doubt.
We'll go through
That's
all
like
of them.
Sylvester Stallone buying up his early porn movie and fucking burying that thing.
It's a good business move.
No doubt.
Oh, before I go on, the Sabotage convention was 99. I was totally off. I thought it was like in the
Wow.
early 2000s. I thought it was in the early 2000s. It was 99. I found it online.
Oh shit.
Christ.
And Kill Drums was there too. Steve Walkers,
Yep.
Kill Drums, he was at the thing too. So he probably signed I think he actually signed my Dungeons Are Calling. Now that I think of it, because I have that here.
I'm still just shocked. No offense, Sabotage fans or players. I'm
It
still
is-
just shocked that there was a Sabotage convention.
Convention, yeah.
And
Yeah.
none of us that live in this area.
And I never heard of it. Yeah.
It was in
we must
99.
have been at another concert or something that night.
I mean, it was 99, so I probably found out about it from the Aquarian magazine,
Right.
the Aquarian newspaper or
East
something.
Coast
East Coast Rocker.
East
Right.
Coast
Yeah.
rocker.
For sure.
I'm sure Caffrey probably told me that he was going to do it back. I probably don't even remember though. I mean,
Yeah, I don't remember mentioning it.
no.
But okay, there you go. How does Sabotage get a
liars.
convention and Dokken doesn't get a convention?
Right?
Because George and Don hate each other.
Yeah.
That's
Unless there's money involved. So.
Bakken was so
Always-
heavy.
Always loved this single. Always loved the single because Back for the Attack is on here and would never appear on the album.
right.
It's a great song.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
There's a song back for the wow.
You
Wow.
never
Yeah.
heard that?
I
You've
have
never
not.
heard
You never
that?
heard Back for the
I'm
Attack?
gonna send that to you as soon as we hit end meeting.
Wait,
It's
Butch,
going
you
in
never
your
heard Back
inbox.
for the
I
Attack?
haven't.
Are you
I got that
kidding
7
me?
inch.
So good.
How is that possible?
That's the one Lynch song I've never
Yeah,
heard.
you're a George Lynch guy.
Yes, I am.
Oh
Wow.
my
You
God.
know what you gotta get.
New Music Day.
You know Rock Candy Records?
Yep.
They do a lot of the 80s reissues.
Yep.
They did Back for the Attack and they put the song back on there.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
The song is awesome. It's smoking. My favorite power metal band, their first EP, Halloween
Nice.
subtitle. Before they went,
Oh yeah.
before they went with the full, the pumpkin mascot, it was Fang Face in the
Yeah.
pumpkin.
Classic.
So very,
I got
very
that
cool.
one.
Yeah.
Sabotage convention.
Yeah. 99, dude.
It's crazy, man.
Convention.
My mind is completely fucking blown, Rich.
Yeah. It was in Secaucus. I don't see the date here. It's on their page actually. Sabotage.com.
Is that same
Unbelievable.
hotel? It's probably the same place where they had Chiller all the time.
I was just gonna
Yeah,
say
one of
that.
those conventions. Yep.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we were always, I was doing the KISS conventions at that time every year still. and
Right.
So I thought it was in the early 2000s, but it was 99. So I guess
Jesus.
right before TSO really took off
Yeah.
when they just got started.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Going to the second Europe album.
Oh yeah.
Johnny Norum.
I wish I had the first one, but I don't. I'm still trying to find it. So if anybody wants to gift me one of those, I'm accepting gifts. Oh, I got love Wings of Tomorrow. This is my favorite Europe.
Everyone knows I love John Norum.
Personal Fate, Melissa scared the shit out of me. The back
Yeah,
cover. Love this. These things I'd never sell. These things I'd never sell. And then Chris, hopefully you'll never come to my house ever because you're going to want to take all these things.
What do you got? Let's see.
I'll have to hide these things from you like the Rainbow album from Sydney. So we got At War with Satan.
Oh, nice.
These are all originals, by the way. Black Metal.
Yeah.
Very
Just
nice.
show the back of that. The back of the black metal is fucking cool.
So got the Japanese writing on the top.
Yeah, that is. I love
The
that.
dog is still licking Ryan.
Yeah.
The other dog.
This happened. This happened last time I was on. The dog was licking you when I was on too.
No,
It's
it
every
goes on
week
every
now.
week. It's like dog love. My dog went to bed, luckily.
It's like a thing now. And then of course the Welcome to Hell.
The
Yeah.
best.
Yeah, these are awesome. I'm so glad I got these. In the 80s when they came out. So yeah, it's my third batch of vinyl. I can't part with it.
Very nice. Very nice.
Thanks.
Back to our center square.
All right, so I got one book and just a couple of magazines that are pretty cool. The first, we're going back to my main man. The cool thing about this is one of these little books that Circus put out, and this was released back in 1974.
Oh, wow. Before my time.
And Alice actually, when Alice signed this for me, he said he had never seen this before, but he was joking. He was like, "I have no idea what's in here, but it's whatever they said, it's probably true." So he signed this, and again, this was 74, so this was pre-Alice solo, this is pre all that. And at this point, Alice was still just, character or personality. So and the funny thing about this was when I bought this, I actually got this on a store on the boardwalk in Wildwood, New
Wow.
Jersey. And they sold it for $6.66. And I was like,
Nice.
that's just
Nice.
you got to. So I thought that was really great. And I've actually, it's been on my list to read this. I've never actually read this, believe it or not. Because I also am really scared too, because it's I try to be really careful with it. I keep it in a plastic bag. So but I really do want to read it. It's super cool though. They have this for, this was one of those things they had for like, Led Zeppelin, the whole thing. So they had these for like a bunch of different bands, but super cool. And I was excited when Alice was like, I've never seen this before. I was like, oh wow. The next, I just have a couple of older magazines, which are so cool to me. I have like Hit Paraders, and I got this one online, and I only really wanted it because there's the back cover of Don Dokken, and I was like, I love Don Dokken, so I really wanted that. And the other side's Ozzy, so
Nice.
What the hell are you doing?
That is quite an outfit.
is quite an outfit. But this one's got some cool stuff. God, where was it? Get stuff like kicks and there was one thing for Lynn. I gotta find it. I was just flipping through this. But there's like spreads on Randy Rhodes
That's better.
and all this
Sort of
stuff.
cut them out.
Oh, this is for you.
On the wall.
I absolutely would have cut him out.
Nice.
Things
Yeah,
for
young Jeff
like,
Tate.
so that's one of them. And like it's so cool to like read the stuff. I think in this one or on one of these it's they talk about like the new here it is, the like Stars of Tomorrow, and it's bands you've like never heard of because they never made it. And then there's like Poison and Striper's on here. Striper, the headline is many predict this unique religious rock quartet will be metal's next big thing. There's like stuff like this in here.
Striper mentioned number 3 in 2 weeks.
I got this one, a Kerrang, which is
I had that one with the patch. Yep.
Yep,
I had
I'm
that.
missing the patch, unfortunately, but there apparently was a free one, and
I have it.
but that was pretty cool. And I mean, I love this because it's got the huge Dokken spread in it, and it's
Lynch.
yeah.
Speaking of Dokken, I took out the Back for the Attack so you could see it with the bonus track on there. Can you see it?
Yep. I will check it out when we're done.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I got that one. I got just kind of a metal edge. This is from 1985. It's got, Motley Crue, the whole thing. It's super cool look through. And then I got this copy of Circus I got some other magazines too.
I had that one.
1980
Wow,
with
yeah,
David Lee
good
Roth on the cover. And it's just so cool.
Show me Edward.
It's still got I don't know if there's a spread in here.
Edward is definitely in it.
Let's look real quick. Well, there's a Women and Children First ad in here.
Absolutely.
And
That is definitely a picture of Edward. If Roth is on the cover, Edward is in it because they wanted to sell the magazine.
give me a second. Let's see.
I'd buy the magazine without Edward.
No, it doesn't exist, Lynn.
Let's see.
I would buy it without one.
Well, they have David Lee Roth again.
Yep.
And then they have a small picture of the band, but then they have David Lee Roth again.
Right.
And
There he is.
there we got Eddie and everything. And
Edward.
And then Robin Zander. So that's that.
Nice.
So yeah, I got a bunch of these, and they're so cool to read through because you're like, they talk about like what's gonna happen next. I'm like, I already know what happens next with a lot of these bands. And then my last thing, which I'm gonna show and tell because it's a signed thing and it's pretty cool because it's on my body for the rest of my life. I had Alice sign my arm, and I got it tattooed.
What does it say?
It says "Your best friend," and then it says Alice. He signed, and then he
That's
drew.
Mm.
He drew his eyes. And the "Your best friend" thing is something that's really sentimental to me because ever since I met him for the first time, I told him that his music was my best friend, and he was my best friend because, to be honest, people suck, and I grew up with a lot of people not really getting me, and I was like, your music is the closest thing I have to a best friend. And so every time I've seen him, it's kind of an inside thing. And so when I told him, I was like, I want you to write that on my arm because it meant a lot. So
Nice.
that's my little show and tell. And I love he drew the eyes and everything. So
Very cool.
that one's on me for life. So that had to be my
Nice.
last little honorable mention.
Very cool.
Nice.
All right, Lynn.
All right. So I don't know. I thought this was kind of good. Look how I thought this was a really cool. I saw Eric Gales and I
Nice.
met him. And I thought this was cool because it was a, very large guitar pick.
He must have big hands.
Big hands, very big hands. And then in 2017, Neil Giraldo. Love
Fuck
him.
you.
Fuck you back.
Fuck you.
Fuck you back.
You know I love Neil Giraldo.
I do know that, but I only have one.
Well, this should be mine.
Well, and then I got a ton of Ace Frehley, but whatever, right? The farewell tour.
I don't want that.
I know you don't, but and then I got Rick Nielsen when I saw Cheap Trick. It's all bent up because he played it, whatever. Of course, I got Yngwie, got Ross the Boss here.
Nice.
And then this one actually was pretty cool because when I went to that, I think Butch, were you there with Joe Guerreri the night that they played in Albany? That the guitar of the
Yep.
So that night, Nuno Betancourt came down, and then
We had wait a minute. Everyone understand this. She just
What?
asked me if I was there, and she had dinner with me before we
I
went.
did. I
into the-
forgot. I did.
Were you there? I wasn't sitting with you having dinner with
I
you.
was. I forgot. Because I'm with you, so I forgot. Was that the night? Like,
That
was
was the
that the
night.
night of the show? Because I'm
Yes.
a dick and I forget. I got a bad memory. Either way, that night, so Nuno comes in the crowd, whatever. Steve Vai comes in the crowd. Everyone's all Steve Vai, and I'm freaking out because it's Steve Vai. And again, he pulled you to me, and he turns around and he takes this guitar pick and he places it in my hand and pushed everybody else away, and then gave me a kiss and a hug. And it's actually on video because Mike Beretta taped it, and I fucking freaked out. So I got that placed in my hand by Steve Vai.
The Generation X tour, if people are wondering what we're talking about.
Yes,
Generation
in
X.
Albany. And then when Glenn Hughes came to the Chance in Poughkeepsie, hung out with him upstairs at the Loft Bar, and he actually gave me this out of his pockets, and then told me he wants me to come to England for tea, a spot of tea, which I would love to do. And then, of course, I worked for Meatloaf. He gave me that guitar pick. And Lejean gave me this one. And Stained gave me that one. And I have a million more. But this, I think, my Jet City Woman signed. Can you see it from there?
Very nice.
Yeah.
And everyone that knows me, Jet City Woman is my song. It's my anthem. It's my thing. So this is like my holy grail of rock and roll stuff. And then, whatever. Because I work at the Chance, I have my little Chance Theater guitar pick because, it is what it is. And then also a jacket from the Chance. I think I showed you guys before, but it's from 30 years ago. It's nothing you can get now, my Chance
Wow.
jacket.
Vintage.
It's vintage. It is vintage.
But
And then
does
my
it smell like the
favorite-
Chance?
Huh?
Hey,
Does it smell like the Chance?
Has to.
slow down
No,
now.
it doesn't. It doesn't, actually. I'm sorry.
Oh, what? Everybody's defended now? Like the Chance doesn't fucking smell all of a sudden?
No, it smells
it's
like home.
iconic.
I love the Chance. Not my
Yeah,
actual
me too.
home.
And the
But
smell
when
is
I
part of
go
the
there, I'm
charm.
like,
I missed
I
that.
kind
smell.
of breathe in and I'm like, oh, home. Like I went to this paranormal thing at the Chance on Saturday. They were looking for ghosts, and I was
Okay.
all excited because it smelled like, the Chance. It smelled like home.
Mm.
But
Nice.
Butch, can you show everybody your necklace?
They find any ghosts?
They did find ghosts. See it, Butchie's necklace?
Huh?
See Butchie's
Yeah.
necklace,
You see
everyone?
it, someone-
I
so-
love that necklace.
on
And let me
our
tell you, so
Court
my
gesture
next thing-
symbol.
it is. So my
Oh.
favorite thing of all time that anyone's ever given me, and I think I'm gonna cry, is see that? It is my official Butch Jones guitar pick. Do you see
Oh,
that?
boy.
Nice.
This is my
I don't have
favorite.
one of those.
Yep,
Me neither.
it's my favorite rock
Just-
star.
Wayne
Yeah.
Gretzky. Wayne Gretzky on one side and my court jester symbol on the other side.
And wait, I was praying to the gods that you were wearing that fucking necklace today. I was like, please don't let it be Scuba Steve. Please let it be this necklace. And this is my end of the night. I told you it was my favorite thing.
Lynn, where was the ghost in the chance? Where was he? Upstairs, downstairs?
I don't know. Some girl came
In
out
the
of
men's
the
room?
nutty.
Yeah,
Some girl came out of the nutty and said, "Oh my God, we have a." They had something on their app and it went crazy.
It's not the first time that they've done this there. But speaking of the chance tonight, right now, do they have an opening date right now?
No,
Whatever,
no, we
Steve.
do not.
Whatever. Back to me. Back to my guitar
Wait,
pick.
no.
Let's get back over there.
We're not going to talk about that guitar pick anymore.
No, but it's my favorite thing. This was my favorite thing. Just like Butch's last thing, really what he should have done was printed out a fucking picture of me, him, and Vivian Campbell, and he should say, "That's my favorite thing." That's what he should have done.
That was a
Just
fun
saying.
night. That was a fun night. But thank you for doing that. I did not see that coming. That's funny. That's
Of course you didn't, fucker. That's why you're letting me in next week.
That was good.
I know.
Back to me.
Go ahead. And no, Steve, no opening date for the chance yet. Maybe the fall. We're hoping because
Okay.
Queensryche is coming and playing. So
Jeff Tate's coming.
whatever.
I thought I saw a date for like July.
That's what I thought.
I know, but they're not really sure they're
Yeah.
gonna do those
That
shows
wasn't-
as of
It's
yet.
up there. I don't think it's happening.
Yeah.
not
okay,
sure.
okay.
Oh, what about this one? Little King's X.
Deep
For
tease
Butchie.
and
The tie?
It is. Yes.
Nice. I don't have that one.
I got something that's more famous than the Butch Jones pick though.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Carl
Nice.
Palmer, drumhead.
Nice.
that I got from
I
Carl.
got Carl Palmer stuff. I even met him. I worked for him at the do you remember
Sugarloaf.
Sugarloaf?
Sugarloaf.
Sugarloaf. Remember
Yeah.
that?
Yep.
I worked there.
So now, if it's
Dixie
my
Dregs.
turn,
Ooh.
Yep.
Morse.
What do you
I'm
got?
still going, so that's not.
No, I just had to show my little Dixie Dregs. Go ahead.
Is that Steve Morse?
We're going on
Yeah,
a walk.
I'm very
me and you,
excited.
I guess. We're gonna go on a walk. We're going on a walk.
All
We'll
right,
see how
take
this-
us on a journey, Steve.
You're walking
Going
all the way
on
to
a
the
journey.
store?
Couple more Blacklight posters, the Black Sabbath. We sold our souls for rock and roll, bootleg, of course, the Iron Maiden one. One for Butch, Speak of the Devil, which I said was out a while ago. I don't know how this is going to come out because I can't really see it. You can
I
kinda-
feel like I'm watching one of those
That's it.
fucking Blair Witch movies. Shaky cam shit. You gotta look away. Sorry, Steve.
Steve Wood Project.
Oh, I like the Silver Surfer one, Steve. There you go.
Surfer, and then the other one is a Hulk. Those are both Third Eyes. I got an Uncle Acid and the Deadbeats, which is a Dirty Donnie from 2014. It goes for about $500 now.
Yeah, that's a knockoff of Ingrid Pitt.
Yeah, it is. And then there's the Thor, Astral Thor. This was actually a store display. It's on cardboard. And now we're going to walk out and we're going to look at a couple pinball machines. And then we will wrap up my portion of the show.
We need some
Bear
creepy
with me,
music
I'm
now,
probably
Chris.
making you
Cue it up.
dizzy.
Totally like some organ shit, some organ music,
Yeah, this is
like
real
something
Blair
from
Witch.
some of the old Universal monster movies.
Now, can we see it? We probably
No,
can't see
not with the
it.
Nope.
backlight.
Can't
It's
see a
hard to do
thing.
stuff on Zoom. That's a Zeppelin pinball
You
machine.
can
I
see the
just
Zeppelin
got.
name.
I see some lights.
I see a
No,
bright white light.
you can't do pinball in here. I don't think.
No.
Dave. Nope.
There's a lot of bright white lights.
This is Guns N' Roses on the end, the brand new one with the big ass screen. You can see the screen sort of. I got Alice Cooper's Nightmare Castle, which they've only made 300.
Wow.
Guns N' Roses are talking to me, and there's the Elvis, and there's the Iron Maiden Pro Legacy of the Beast. So
Where's the Thin Lizzy machine?
they never made one.
Yeah, yeah.
Never.
That's one I don't know if you're ever going to see. The
Yeah,
rumor
that-
is the next one that's coming out is supposedly Rush.
Venom.
Oh, that makes sense.
I
Yeah.
can see that.
It also was one you really didn't know if they were going to do. Rush, you know, it's just. I heard, there's a few bands that you would figure that deserve a game. Black Sabbath deserves a pinball machine.
Van Halen.
It's the fucking Motorhead one.
I've heard a little bit about, but I don't know if that's ever going to happen. I know that
Which one? Which one?
Van
Van
Halen.
Halen. I don't know if they're doing one. I've never heard that rumor very strongly. Pink Floyd, I've heard. Grateful Dead, of course. But,
Now that Wolfgang's in charge of shit, I wouldn't be surprised if some cool stuff starts happening.
Yeah. I mean, it could happen. I mean, pinballs, you never know what's going to come out. You know, sooner or later, you're not going to have a lot of classic rock bands being made because they're going to start appealing to younger generations.
Right.
I don't think they'd make the heavy metal one, but that game's pretty cool.
The heavy metal one's great. Yeah. I mean, I'm glad I didn't do this at the store because I couldn't have showed the pinballs because obviously we just tried and you can't really see them in the background.
Well, everybody's just got to go to Rock Fantasy and look for themselves, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say they don't look like good on Zoom, but man, in person, it is beyond impressive.
Well,
So
we're not actually Rock Fantasy. These ones are in my house. So
Right.
So
But
Let's go to
don't
Steve's
go
house.
there.
the store has about 37 games set up now, and we are legally allowed to play pinball in New York State again. So you can come play.
Not 40, but 37. Not 35, but 37.
Well, there's so many you can fit. You know, we sold a few off for the pandemic, and heavy metal is the newest one. Rock and roll ones that are in the store. Guess what's getting delivered tomorrow? Ted Nugent's back.
Wow.
The old one?
The old one. Yeah, I found one.
Oh, wow.
That's a classic. Great game.
Weekend Warrior.
yeah, Weekend Warriors one. Yeah. That was a
Yeah.
good-
Yeah.
In the store, we've got both of the Rolling Stones. We've got the Beatles, Beatlemania that came out a couple years ago.
Yay.
Oh,
was
shut up.
Really cool.
Signed by Cousin Brucey. I played with Cousin on that actual table, and we got the Walking Dead Slayer Cannibal Corpse version, where we kind of hacked the music. That's another game that we heard that they might be making a Slayer pinball machine. Actually,
No shit.
we have
I would love that.
Wow.
both of the Kiss games. We have the Wizard, which is based on Tommy, of course, with Roger Daltrey and Ann Margaret. We have Dolly Parton. We've got
Gorgar.
Gorgar, Halloween. Yeah, we got Aerosmith. We got the Metallica. We got the AC/DC. And come see the rest.
Halloween wrote the song because of the pinball machine, not the other way around.
And I
That's
really
cool.
wish that when they put Halloween in the heavy metal pinball that just came out, why use a song? I guess it was Nuclear Blast that was licensed one, so they had to go with a Nuclear Blast Halloween song.
Use Gorgar.
Well,
yeah,
great
not
for
the
them to
fucking
play the
pinball
Gorgar. Put the Gorgar song in the
Wrote it about
machine.
the pinball machine. Yeah, it's got to be
Yeah.
licensed.
Oh, we have the Rob Zombie pinball machine in the store too, which they only made 3.
Ooh.
Cool.
Yep. So, yeah, thanks
Awesome.
for having me on again tonight, and hope everybody found it interesting. I'm Blacklight posters and pinballs. I could have done all different things. I got shirts. I got records.
Good. Adds to the variety. We've seen all sorts
I
of
mean,
different-
there's so much stuff.
Love
that
it.
you can collect. I mean, Sydney
Good
said that
stuff.
you guys got a lot of stuff, but I got too much shit.
All right, Ryan, what do you got to finish us off here tonight?
All right, so this is a
Besides your
The
dog.
puppy.
oh,
He's got a dog that licks his face. I know that.
I've got 2 of them, Steve. I am gonna go with my many denim vests I've made, and I've got many compliments when I've gone to the gas station wherever for a show. Little old ladies are like, you know what? You're really good at sewing, and a little old lady complimenting your sewing. That's the highest honor. I don't give a fuck what anybody else says about my sewing. The little lady's like, wow, you did that really nice. So I've had a whole bunch of them, especially a lot of downtime over the last year. Got this one I've made.
Nice.
I've got
You
One
couldn't
that's-
see the back of it. You're going too fast.
all right, hold
Slow
on.
down here. Slow down.
Got a giant
Slow
motor.
down, Speedy.
Yeah, most of these are like mostly black and death metal bands. This one's mostly black and death metal. I got Iron Maiden patch, Motorhead patch,
What's the main one in the middle?
Morbid Insulter from Sweden, band nobody's ever heard of.
Nope.
I was waiting.
Front and fucking center.
I mean, it wouldn't have been a show without Ryan finding something that none of us would know.
Oh, that's just one vest, Steve. That's
So
one.
far, it's been very well-known stuff that he's come up with.
This one's more like classic rock and like older stuff. So this one back is got a giant
yeah.
Demons and Wizards patch, Blue
Yeah.
Cheer, Motorhead. This one, I think this one you would know, Steve. I think you know most of these
Yeah, well,
bands.
that's the one you wear. That's the one you wear to see like Deep Purple. I know these
Yeah.
theme stuff out. Like
I
you
saw-
wear that
I saw
to the
Lizzy.
classic rock
Yep,
show.
and Lizzie's there. I got ZZ Top, Boys.
UFO.
I don't know if you can fucking see this here.
Yeah,
Lizzy front and center.
UFO. I see
found
UFO.
I found a bad company patch. I don't
Bad
know where
Company,
the fuck I found it, but I got a bad company patch on that guy. Yeah, Men of War, Hawkwind down here, Captain Beyond,
Deep Purple.
Yep. Exciter.
Nice.
Cool.
got,
This is like a Monsters of Rock from 1981. You would have seen it.
cool,
Someone
these are
wearing
cool
that exact
cars,
coat.
program. We
Oh,
got
yeah.
a Camel
Oh,
Mirage.
shit. Wow, camel.
Satan, Angel Witch. Cool.
Fucking Satan, man. Those guys rule.
I remember the day you got that Uriah Heep, you were so excited.
Yeah, I had to order that shit from fucking Poland. That's so
I'm sure.
Poland.
Yeah, that was not easy. That backpack was not easy to find.
Yes is on there.
Then I got one I just made recently. This is
We
because I
can
was
have a contest. How many patches are on Scout's coat? You can win a free jelly bean.
a lot. Fuck, take a lot of fucking sewing stuff. I just made this one a couple weeks ago. I haven't ordered to a concert yet because there are no concerts.
Well, no, there's none.
I made a whole vest just for the band Voivod, my favorite Canadian band. So I
Nice.
spent months and
Fucking
months
Voivod, man.
hunting down fucking Voivod. This thing weighs like 40 pounds with all these fucking spikes. You can feel that.
Fucking Voivod, man. I got some really good news
Did you
about
just
Voivod
say
today.
feel that?
You
Is this
did.
right?
I got
Feel
regular
that.
Oh,
spikes.
guys, Steve said the F word, so just need to
Uh-oh.
point that
I
out.
know.
Oh,
Drink,
man.
drink, drink.
That's what it took. Yeah, and then on the back I got a whole bunch
Hey, I was
of
raised not to swear much.
Dimension Hate Trust. Well, you're a good boy, Steve. Got all kinds of shit on this.
I don't
Yeah, so
swear
this
on
one was-
television. Unless
I don't know how
it's
it's gonna go
voice
wearing
or
into a concert because this thing weighs like 40 pounds. with
It
all the
looks
fucking
heavy.
metal on it, but
Plus, you could ram into someone and put some damage into the mosh pit.
it's a lot of spikes. And then I got one of the
Like
old.
my freaking weighted vest.
Maybe-
This one weighs. This one really one of my oldest ones. Really smells like beer and sweat and
Nice.
washes. So whatever it smells like is what
I
it smells
see.
like.
I see Razor. I see Saxon.
Yeah, all kinds of shit on this one here. So I got tons of these. I got three. I got three
Any,
more
any,
upstairs.
any satanic goat bands on that one?
Any satanic goats? Yeah, they all
Yeah.
got goats on them, Steve. There's goats there. Well, let's find a goat. Find a goat. You know what? This one doesn't have any goats. I got Merciful Fate up here. Angel Witch.
Yeah,
Little tiny. I got a little tiny Motorhead patch. Look at that little tiny guy
I
right
see.
there.
That's a baby.
That's a cute little guy. Yeah. So I don't know. I had three more upstairs. I couldn't carry them all down the fucking staircase.
Oh, how many
so,
do you have in total, Ryan? How many battle jackets do you have?
I've made 8 of them so far over the
8?
Wow.
years.
I gotta say, those are awesome, but man, that's a lot of fucking sewing.
That's what I was gonna say. I'm gonna have to message you after this, dude, because I hate sewing. I'm always breaking needles. I
You know
fucking
what?
hate
It's,
it.
I'll put record. It's the best time to listen to records. I'll put records on because I got shit tons of records and CDs and fucking all
Yeah.
kinds of stuff. So I'll just put stuff on and yeah, it's a good way to listen to music. I just put it on and it's like trimming
So
a
you don't
bonsai
use-
tree.
you
You know,
don't
you
use a
sew.
saw- You don't use a sewing machine. You sew it by hand.
I don't. I have no idea how to use a sewing machine. It's all by hand.
Okay.
Oh, man.
But that's Steve. That's over for many years, Steve. I didn't do it at all on a weekend. That's like years and years and years of doing that.
I can just picture. We all think this guy's been worshiping some evil deity or something in his room, but he's actually getting his face washed by his dogs while he's sewing a patch on a coat.
That's very accurate. It's closer than you. It's more accurate than you think. That's
It's all in good fun.
All right, Butch. Final stuff for tonight.
All right. Well,
Patrick
I
Sharp.
believe that this, I could absolutely be wrong, but I think this was 2009, and this was because of you. I wrote a review for the Thin Lizzy album that came out, Still Dangerous, the actual release of the show that they did at the Tower Theater in 1977 in Philadelphia. And doing that, I wrote a lengthy review because obviously that band means a ton to me, and I broke down every song, and I was really in-depth review that I did for Sea of Tranquility, and they sent me stuff that I did not expect to ever see. They sent me the advertising that they used to promote the record. So this was VH1 Classic Records, and if you can see that was signed by Scott Gorham. So they sent me that, and if you can see really close, they used a part of my review as their advertising that they used around the world.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
I love it.
On posters, on postcards. So if you went into a store and they were promoting this, it was hanging and they had that there. So that was the one, that was the actual album cover with Phil on it. And they also sent me, Scott actually signed both sides of it, and he signed the side with him on it. same idea.
Nice.
So obviously for me, and I don't even understand why I haven't gotten them framed yet. I do think it was like 2009, and I've had them in the cylinder thing
Oh,
protecting them. I've never gotten them.
interesting.
Yeah, I've
Interesting.
never gotten them framed, so I have to get them framed. So that's to me. This is 2021. So in 19, I think 19, or was it last year? I forget what year it was. It was either 2019 or 2020. I forget what year it was now. It was the 50th anniversary for Thin Lizzy. And in Ireland, they actually made stamps with Phil Lynott on them, and also with the cover of Black Rose. A friend of mine, Johnny Cullen, who was married to my friend Sherry Cullen, who I've known forever. Johnny is Irish, and they met in Ireland, and he moved here, and they got married when they were young in their 20s and everything. But they were going home, and I said, "Hey, you're going home. Can you look and see if you can find me the stamps of Phil Lynott?" And they didn't say anything, and they came home and had him framed. He found me. They went to the post office in Ireland, trying to get this good, and he got me a book of stamps of Phil and the Black Rose stamps, which are amazing. So that I see them every day when I walk home. Jesus Christ! When I walk up the steps, and I see them every day. You know, for a Lizzy fan, what can you say that tops something like that, to see those stamps? And the only thing that tops those stamps is this, because this is the greatest thing I think I own as memorabilia. In this area where I live is where we are from, the Hudson Valley in New York. There's still a local radio station called WPDH, who is the home of rock and roll. And when I was younger, the program director, who was also on the air, his name was Bill Palmieri. And Bill Palmieri, I've called Uncle Bill since I was 18 years old. He's always been an uncle to me. He's always carried me under his wing. He was the guy that got me into the Chance for Free for years and years and years, that carries on to this day, which is fantastic. But out of the blue, as I got older and was discovering Thin Lizzy, and you know, they were over at the time, but I was discovering them, trying to find all the vinyl and stuff in the States. You know, they were never huge, so to try to find all those classic records that I had read about and people had been telling me about, it took me a long time to find them all on vinyl. And I don't know why, but for some reason I was talking to Lizzy, to him, and he ordered from the radio station a custom gold, I mean, I say gold album, but it's not a gold album. It is a gold CD and cassette of Thin Lizzy for Jailbreak, which is the only album that went gold. I mean, now maybe there might be something different else, but probably not. Maybe Live in Dangerous maybe has gone gold here, but this was, I would say, early 90s that he got this for me. So this was, at the time at least, the only album that had gone gold for Thin Lizzy was Jailbreak. And he got this for me. And if you can see, also at the time too, Scott Gorham had a band called 21 Guns. And he came to Poughkeepsie to WPDH to do some advertising for his band, promoting his album. And Bill called me and said, and I'll never forget this ever, just like the John Sykes style, I'll never forget this ever. I was working and he called me and said, "Listen, don't freak out. Scott Gorham is going to be here in a half hour. Go home, get whatever you want him to sign, and come up to the station." And there was nobody there. It was me and Scott Gorham. So I grabbed everything I had at that time. I think by then I might have gotten everything by then. And I went up there with this gold record, the CD that Bill had got me. And it was me and Scott sitting in the lobby of WPDH for maybe 45 minutes. And he signed everything. Every Lizzy album that I have, Scott Gorham has signed.
Nice.
And he signed that.
Nice.
And
Very cool.
so this means, I mean, I look at this every single day, and it means the world to me, because, you know, it says if you can trying to, if you can see that it says presented to me at
That's
the bottom and
cool.
everything. This is the most badass thing I have. And the only thing that could make this even better is if I could ever meet the two Brians, to meet Brian Downey, and God, Edward is gone now. Gary is gone. The probably the number one guy on my would want to meet list is Brian Robertson. And if I could meet him and just have him sign this, man, that would be fucking phenomenal.
There's one
I've
other
never-
thing, but you gotta go see.
Oh, I know. Oh,
Get
God,
over there.
Brian.
You gotta have it get enough. That's the only thing I've got. Thin Lizzy related. You haven't done.
But that is so brilliant. And fortunately or unfortunately, I've had so many people over the years that have texted me, emailed me, Facebook me pictures of them next to that statue, and I haven't gotten there.
You'll get there.
I will absolutely get there. I swear I will absolutely get there. I've had it planned in my head how it's gonna lay out. I've always joked that I have to get off the plane, take whatever bags I've got, go no hotel, directly to the statue. And I need people, whoever I'm with, I need you to leave me alone for a half hour because I'm gonna cry. Let me get it out. Let me do my Irish Phil Lynott statue, I'm here thing for a half hour. And then I need to go to the Guinness Brewery and then I'm good. So I will get there.
In that order.
In that order, exactly. But yeah, this is without a doubt, this is my number one thing. This means the absolute world to me to have a little piece of Thin Lizzy's success in America and have Scott Gorham have signed it to me as well. That's my number one thing without a doubt.
All right, Chris, what do you got?
All right, make this quick. I was really excited in 2007 when the Dio version of Sabbath got back together. I did a lot of work promoting the band. The publicist was really cool. Gave me 4 separate interviews with Tony, Ronnie, Geezer, and Vinny. I'd already interviewed all 4 guys multiple times, but it was really cool to just focus on Sabbath related stuff. Put them on a bunch of covers like Pit Magazine, Zero Tolerance, Rock Brigade, all over the world. And then they did this art print and they had the 4 guys sign it. And it was like a promo only thing. And I remember we ran a contest in Pit Magazine so that you could, win this autographed print from the band that you couldn't buy. At the time you weren't able to buy it. And the publicist was so cool. He's like, listen, man, you did so much for, pushing the band and pushing the tour that he sent me one for nothing. So This is it, autographed by
nice.
the 4 guys in the band. It's a really weird size. So like you guys, I haven't been able to frame it yet. And I also have no room, but I should find a spot because it's pretty cool. And
It is cool. That is cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's worth finding that special frame, right?
You could
Yeah.
find it. Yeah.
I mean, the funny thing is, I hadn't thought about it for a little while, and I looked it up on eBay, I think a day ago, and I found a guy that's selling one for $1,977,
Oh my
Just
God.
get it.
which is
Chris,
insane. I'm sure he's never going to sell it, but I was like, wow, I'm really glad I got one for nothing.
have you
That's
ever thought
crazy.
about getting it professionally framed, going and having somebody?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'll probably have to because it's such an odd size.
Yeah.
I'll probably have to get some kind of custom frame, but you have to worry, you have to worry a little bit about custom framers too, because I know last time I went to not Hobby Lobby, but one of those big places, I brought in an original Pam Grier one sheet for the movie Foxy Brown, and they wanted to linen back it, and I'm like, no, don't do a thing, don't put any fucking weird chemicals on it, just put it in a frame. So
Go to somebody local. Go to somebody local then, not like a
yeah, it's probably what I'll have to do.
somebody who not who does this. I'm sure there's got to be somebody.
Yeah, I remember it was a young girl, and I was like, no, just
you don't know what the fuck you're doing.
just give me the poster back and let me get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, to finish this all off today, I got a couple things here that I just got recently, actually.
Shit.
And it helps to get to know a very famous artist and album cover designer. And I have become friends with a guy named Johannes, who has drawn, covers for Fate's Warning and the Allman Brothers Band and King Crimson and Styx and all sorts of people. So anyway, he sent me, I'm trying to figure out how to do this because these are not framed yet, but here we have signed
Nice.
little print of the Allman Brothers album Where It All Begins from the 90s. And
Nice.
this is signature
Very nice.
down on the bottom. But the really cool one. And
I like how we all have our shit framed.
I know. Well, I just got these, so
And there's a lot going on.
we've got a lot going on, right? So I don't know if we have any King Crimson fans here on the panel, but I know watching we probably have some. So they came out
Robert
with
Fripp,
an album,
of course.
a number of years ago called The Construction of Light, and Johannes did like 4 different album covers for it. He had one that he really liked a lot that he submitted to the label and to Robert Fripp, and they actually vetoed it like at the last minute and made him scramble and do a different one. So what he did was he sent me a large print that has all 4 of the album covers on it. The big one is actually the one that he submitted to the label that he wanted to use. And then here are the other alternative ones. And the one all the way in that corner there is actually the one that was used. And there's the signature.
Oh, Jesus.
So, I mean, no, there's like no comparison, right? I mean, the one that they used is pretty boring compared to the other 3. I know there's a lot of glare here, but the one that he submitted, I think is the best one. And they decided not to go with that.
Yeah, why would Fripp pick the one with the itty bitty smallest piece of artwork?
Don't know. I don't know.
That's Robert Fripp.
That's Robert Fripp for you. The Robert Fripp guy who does all these wacky videos with his wife, singing doing all.
I gotta say, it is probably the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life.
They're so entertaining though.
Wait a minute. Is that the guy playing guitar with the blonde-haired wife?
Yeah, Tanya Fripp.
With the no bra?
Yeah. Did you see them do Poison?
Wait a minute. I didn't even know that guy was anybody. I just thought they
Oh
were
my
like
God.
a creepy,
Yeah.
like swinger couple.
Didn't they just do Number of the Beast?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet, but I heard about it.
Oh my God.
And Chris,
Really?
she does the Bruce Dickinson yell thing.
Really well too.
No kidding. I have to see that.
Chris, you got to watch it after this. It's unbelievable.
It's
Okay.
pretty cool.
All right.
It's not the whole song, but it's like maybe right what yeah.
They're
They
all
got
over
this
it.
guy behind him who's wearing like
Yeah.
like all satanic and stuff.
And he's
That's
like playing
funny.
face.
All right. I'm going to watch it tonight.
It's
I never saw it
weird.
either.
Really weird. So there you have it, everybody. Thanks for hanging in with us through this longer edition of the Hudson Valley Squares. We had some really cool stuff to show off tonight. I want to thank everybody here for bringing out some really fascinating stuff. We had a lot of different things. I think that's what made this so fascinating. So thanks, everybody. And thank Rich Catino for joining us here tonight.
Thanks for having me back. I always like being on, guys.
Yeah.
Winger, man. Winger. All right.
Oh, wait till the Monsters Den on Thursday. I think Rich is going to have something planned for you, Mr. Allo.
Right?
So thanks everybody for watching. Visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. Of course, we're here on YouTube.
All the
damn
damn
time.
time.
That's right. Stay tuned for another show next week. Tomorrow night, we got In the Prog Seat, another one of our weekly shows. And of course, on Thursday night, join Rich Catino, Chris Sallow, and Dan Brown, and myself for the Monsters Den, all about our favorite George Romero horror classics. That's coming up on Thursday. So for Steve Keeler, Butch Jones, Lynn Versace, Sydney Taylor, Chris Allo, Ryan Scow, and our special guest, Rich Catino, I am Pete Pardo. Good night, everybody.
Ooh.